regret immediately.
You're
You're among friends.
I feel like this is a safe place.
It's not out of place.
It is a safe place.
Let's see.
I'd go splitsies with you on that. For 150.
Cool.
And 150 apiece. Let me just note that in my gear here. Oh, damn it. Gotta plug my headphones in. Been using my headphones for like 3 days in a row. They really need to be charged.
Slacking.
I'll
What'd you
take
call me?
no lip from you tonight,
I know.
Zuzu.
That's okay. I accept this.
Hey, Chris, are you here?
Yeah, what's up?
Is there a page for like custom items in YPCG?
I think towards the front, wouldn't it be?
Yeah. So there's a bit for custom data, which I believe is the second tab.
Mm-hmm.
Custom magic items.
Cool. That's what I want. They don't have cracked scarlet and blue ionospheres in YPCG, so I need to add that.
So I need to double check the cost for transcribing a second level spell. It's not that much. I think I actually what is it? It's like 40 gold? Yeah, I think it's 40 gold for me to transcribe the spell. So 711. And then I will other than Eugene, does anybody else want a spell or a potion of Cat's Grace? I would assume Zuzu.
I'm completely broke
because
because I bought my Boots of the Earth.
Dex increases your AC.
Yep.
So.
But I have no
It does.
money. I have used all of my coin.
Oh, for the boots?
How much? Whitney, you're cutting out.
Whitney, I cannot understand a word you
Yeah,
said, and you're
your
sitting right
mic's
next
really
to me.
terrible.
What'd you say?
Whitney,
Yeah, Whitney,
Whitney,
I can't
exit,
understand a word.
exit the
Is this
water
okay?
tank.
This sounds
Yeah.
better.
I like it in here.
Well,
in a trench.
then how are you going to talk to us?
It's fine.
But seriously, can you hear me okay? or
Yes,
is
we
it...
can hear. We can now.
What?
Okay.
Oh my
Don't
God.
do it.
Stop, Tanner.
Do it, Tanner.
We can hear
support
you,
this.
Whitney.
Okay, cool. So, Potion of
Who's
Cat's
Whitney?
Grace is a +2 bonus, yeah?
Oh, I love you,
Plus
Tanner.
4 bonus to dexterity,
Plus
adding the
4.
usual benefits to AC, reflex saves, and the other uses of dexterity modifier.
Yes. Effectively,
Or
it
how
increases your...
long? It is 4 minutes.
Nice.
Well, excuse me, 3 minutes. So still
Okay.
a very long time.
Mhm.
For combat purposes.
Keep in mind, Tanner, it is more expensive to create potions at your caster level.
I can cast it at a lower level.
Yes, I know, but like...
Yeah, I'm casting it at its level 3. Making the potions at its level 3 thingy.
Yep.
So it's anybody that wants one. It's 150. Eugen will have one, so you don't need to have a separate one.
OG baby.
Sorry, names are. I'm in too many games.
Uh-huh.
Blythe. It would be 150 GP for a Cat's
Okay.
Grace potion.
Well, I have completely forgotten how much gold I have, so whenever Roll20 decides it's going to load for me, I will let you know if I can do that.
Sounds good.
So for everyone that got a cloak from me, instead of subtracting 500 gold, you only need to subtract 475.
Cool, 25
Cool.
gold
Oh,
back.
you get that discount.
And then Chris, your boots cost you 2,500, right?
Did you craft my boots?
I think
Stinky
so.
boy.
God, I haven't played in so long.
Why would you craft? Did you? There's no way you had 5,000 gold.
No,
like-
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gonna
no,
say-
2,500. That's what I paid.
Okay.
You're right.
You need to change that. It's 2375.
Why?
I have a trait that lets me craft magic items at a 5% discount.
Is it Hedge Magician or
Oh.
whatever
It's
it is?
Spark of Creation. Similar.
Spark of Creation.
Vanya had one of those too. It burned a building down and most of her body.
Yeah.
Actually, that was my Spark of Creation. I'm just kidding. When I saved you from the fire,
It's
My
also
friend
a
almost
spark of
killed
disruption.
themselves. I should make boots.
Yeah.
I learned how to
I
use
would-
magic better because you
Make a potion.
destroyed everything.
Okay. So what has everybody else been doing with their spare time apart from the crafters who I believe have just been crafting and working?
God, we have been crafting.
Yeah. Rigmarole.
Eugen spent a couple days at the House of Blue Stones, studying with the monks and learning to meditate and trying to get his alter ego under control, which he now thinks that he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
And then he spent the rest of his time working with Madame Vashti, who is a ancient Varisian elder in Sandpoint, and she's a surprisingly powerful NPC. We were just finding out, and she's kind of an oracle and spellcaster and druid person that he thought would be potentially very useful to befriend.
Cool.
What about I know Blythe has been working with
Teaching Sven how to fight.
yeah. Good to know.
I said I was at a whorehouse, being like one of
Oh
the
yeah.
Bouncer slash.
yeah. Mhm.
Right. Yep, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Do we need to craft a potion for? Did you
If she wants one.
did
She
you
slash
craft
he.
anything?
I mean, it seems like it'd be wise, just in case. But that really depends on what her practices are, and if she's being safe. I feel like a barbarian has never heard of that.
Yeah.
Orkin immunities.
I'm
Orcish?
gonna have to do like a there's a thing that I could do later on where I can like preserve my organs to avoid like criticals and
Oh,
stuff.
jeez.
I just need to basically seal your junk in wax. That way you're completely immune to any
So I thought swimming in the ocean cleanses everything. Salt water.
It does not. If only.
Nope.
That's probably what the barbarian's doing. Like he takes a dip in the ocean water.
It just believes that.
Well,
that's
actually, I don't have-
There we go. STD's gone.
Right? Yeah. These little fish will eat the crabs that are weaving in and out.
Yeah, they use the
Oh.
Cycle of life. It's beautiful.
Yep.
It's like the Lion King over there.
These crabs aren't Alaskan king, but they feel huge.
Have you guys interacted at all with Tessuto and Nualia while they have been in the in lockup?
I would not have.
Mm-hmm.
Nor would I.
Some of you had, I think, seemed like maybe that was something you were interested in, but
If someone else did, Blythe might have tagged along, but she
Mhm.
definitely would not remember that on her own.
because you're only working like 8 hours a day, that's the maximum you're allowed to, so you'd still have another like 8 hours of carousing you could do. Or
In fact, it's
so-
assumed that you do that like during breaks. So
Mhm.
normal 8-hour day would be when you do everything else.
Right.
I obviously remember who the people are that you're talking about, Ryan, but just for everybody else,
Sure.
could you maybe just do a quick, like, who the fuck is Testudo? Is that a turtle?
You never
Testudo,
met him, so you know.
well, he did. Testudo is
Oh, right.
Amiko's older brother, the half
oh,
elf.
right.
Testudo Kajitsu, and a bastard son of your previous employer. He was linked with Nualia, who is the Asimar girl who had grown up in town and was somewhat ostracized because she was an Asimar.
Which is like a part angel something kind of
Yeah, it's
thingy.
basically a little bit like the implications that they're like descended from a deity of some sort, and they have like that they're part of their actual genetic makeup is like celestial.
Yeah. Okay.
So
With it now.
yeah, there's a lot of like superstitions and whatnot about them. And she and Testudo had met in Magnamar and were working together in her plot to destroy Sandpoint, which had very recently been foiled by the heroes of Sandpoint.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I didn't visit them.
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. Is Chris around? Heard him speak.
No.
Nope, not talking. Nope, still nothing.
I don't know if he's muted.
If it's not Whitney,
There
it's
he is.
Chris.
It wasn't? Oh.
No, I'm hearing him through her mic.
Probably mine.
He is playing Warcraft.
Oh,
Really?
I see how it is.
But
There
Hello?
you go.
there you go.
All right, well, we're getting started, so are we good to go?
Yep.
Okay.
I think so.
All
There
right.
we go.
So last time, you guys had wrapped up Thistletop and finished. You'd taken some time to engage in whatever career crafting, animal training pursuits that you had orchestrated or that you were interested in getting along with. A few weeks after the last thing at Thistletop, things seem to have settled down a bit. And one night, you all found yourselves in the tavern, whose name somehow the Rusty Dragon, with
Amiko's Bar and
Amiko.
Grill.
Yeah, Amiko's Bar and Grill, which seems
Amico
to
bees.
yeah, Amiko seems to be recovering a bit over the last few weeks, but she's still got a little bit of a limp, and you suspect that she'll probably carry some of the scars from that altercation with Testudo, both mental and physical, for probably the rest of her life. And while she's there, Sheriff Hemlock, Bellor Hemlock, came in and sort of quietly asked you all if you would join him upstairs, where he handed a letter to Blythe that was bloodstained, and told you all that there'd been a couple incidents around Sandpoint, and that while the town guard is capable as guardsmen go, they're simply out of their depth at understanding what's at play here. And considering that they found this bloodstained letter with Blythe's name written on it, it seems that that you all might be in danger as well, and implored you for your help. I'll give you a refresher because it's been a couple weeks. Let me move you.
Excuse me. Probably drag myself out there.
Well, I'll put you guys up here.
Ah!
Okay. So this is a bit of a recap. He said, "First, let me thank you all again for all you've done for Sandpoint. It's fortunate you've proven yourselves so capable, because we have a problem I think you can help us with. A problem I wish I didn't have to involve anyone with, but one that needs dealing with now before the situation grows worse. Put simply, we have a murderer in our midst. One who, I fear, has only begun his work. Some of you doubtless remember the late unpleasantness, how this town nearly tore itself apart in fear as Chopper's slayings went on unanswered. I'm afraid we might have something similar brewing now. Last night, the murderer struck at the sawmill. There are 2 victims, and they're in pretty gruesome shape. The bodies were discovered by one of the mill workers, a man named Ivor Thorne. By the time my men and I arrived on the scene, a crowd of curious gawkers had already sprung up. I've got my men stationed there now, keeping the mill locked down, but the thing that bothers me isn't the fact that we have 2 dead bodies inside. It's the fact that this is actually the second set of murders we've had the last few days. I come to you for help in this matter. My men are good, but they're also green. They were barely able to handle themselves against the goblins, and what we're facing now is an evil far worse than goblins. I need the help, but I'm afraid you'll need the help too. You see, I'm afraid this particular murderer knows one of you as well." And I'll show you the letter that he had given you.
Yeah, I remember this.
Blythe can read a short message.
Yep. She can read. She is capable.
Okay.
She doesn't choose to a lot of the time, but she can.
Good to know.
Do you want me to read it now, or are we just?
Oh, I'm just showing it to you.
Okay.
How you wanna react is your own.
I don't understand. Are you sure this is for me? I don't understand this. Maybe they got the name wrong?
Sheriff Hemlock strokes his chin. He says, "I don't believe we have any other Blythes in town. Nor can I think of anybody that has a similar name. I believe this is directed at you."
But I don't know who. It's a Cardi to see like understands it.
Oh, it.
I'm running out of pronouns.
He or she are interchangeable. Although preferably not it. That just seems wrong. Cardi takes the letter from Blythe and says, "My dear, it seems to be addressed to you. Like, I don't think there's any way of looking at it any other way. Let's see.
I
What
don't
does
know
it say here?
Your lordship is, or the pack, like pack of.
Wolves.
I don't.
Well, there was what was his name? That
Eldern
stately fella.
Foxglove.
Ah, yes, Aldor. Was he a lord? I don't remember if he was.
Yes,
proper.
he was. Well, he
Uh,
was certainly wealthy.
Definitely wealthy, but I don't know if he was a proper lord. If he was a lord, then it might be him, because he definitely had the hots for you. I don't know if you noticed.
Was he a lord?
Are you asking?
I'm asking the GM.
The GM.
Yes.
I think
to
he styled
recall a piece
himself.
of information.
He styled himself Lord Aldrin Foxglove.
Ah,
Yes.
gotcha.
I
A
believe that's what
lord
he
from
styled.
here that I've not heard of.
Nah.
Is he
he was
Sandpoint?
from Magnamar.
Magnum.
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
But he wouldn't. He was nice, and I don't remember him killing people a lot.
Well,
perhaps
I
he
mean,
cut his
Turns out-
finger?
But and slipped and cut the other 2 people repeatedly.
I don't know if he styled himself a lord. Aldern Foxglove, I know he claimed to be nobility of some kind. I don't remember if he ever introduced himself as Lord, but I'll read here.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
Right.
he's certainly the most lordy type person
Yeah.
that you've met.
Certainly there is suspicion, but we shouldn't jump to any conclusions yet. Although being rid of his tiring obsession with Blythe would be welcome. Should we have to interact with him again?
You did realize that he was sort of crushing on you, don't you, Blythe? Or were you?
Yes. I don't understand how people interact at all, and I could tell that he wanted to have something.
Have what?
He wanted
No.
to have a. He
The
wanted
man was
to
attracted to you.
get to know you.
We did. I invited him to come along when we went to Thistletop, but he didn't want to.
I think you're still missing it.
Wow.
And Roymond will take his finger and his
Romantic.
thumb and make it into a circle, and then he'll take his pointer
Oh,
finger
God.
and move it in and out.
Well, that's certainly the end conclusion, I would imagine. But usually there are some build-up steps. You know, the kissing and the talking, and
Well, yeah.
I get the feeling that's like an obscene gesture.
it is.
What do you mean? It's just maybe.
They're talking about sex.
He means
in the air.
vaginal penetration.
God, I thought I was dense here.
I don't understand how this has to do with killing people, though.
The man wants to have
That typically
sex with you, and
is not
typically
part of the mating
obsession
ritual.
leads to
Yes.
desperate things, and maybe
What we're
not.
saying is that this has a certain resonance with that maybe, perhaps, Aldern's not as willing to take no for an answer, or complete obliviousness for an answer.
So
this
you
case.
believe you know who this letter's from? This,
No.
No,
oh,
only suspicions.
I see.
It's definitely a possibility that it is the lordship.
We need
Aldern
more
who's,
data.
Well, keep it in mind.
Yeah.
Whoever this perpetrator was seems to have had some sort of obsession over you. In any case, if they wrote this blood-stained letter.
Have any? Do you know of any?
That was a secret roll.
Women that have expired recently?
Well, yes. In fact, that's why I've come to see you at the lumber mill. There's
I'm
been
one of those.
some sort of. It is a grisly scene, but perhaps it would be best if you all took a look at it with fresh eyes rather than me filling your minds with my own assumptions or conclusions.
Yes, we need empirical data.
Is it at least
Yeah,
known who was
yeah.
killed?
We know one of the victims for certain. The other is a little bit more difficult to verify.
And there were more people earlier?
Yes, there was a murder at an abandoned farmhouse to the south, but I wouldn't have thought much of it. These were roughs and known con men. To be frank, I wasn't surprised that they came to pass this way. I'd had a few run-ins with them before, and of course banned them from any such activities within Sandpoint. But it appears they've run afoul of someone lately. Three roughs. We've recovered their bodies. The rest of it, I can't say for certain. But
Oh,
you'd better take a look. We found
yeah.
some strange marks carved on their chest. The only link we have between both of these crimes, apart from their proximity, is these markings.
What sort of markings?
I can't
So say for
rightly say.
ourselves.
Looks like some sort of magical symbol. He nods when Vanya says that and says, we'd best hurry. I would prefer to have our work finished and let them get everything cleaned up before the mobs show up.
I'll get my stuff and grab Sven and meet you guys at the lumber mill. Yeah.
Hey, let's do it.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
He says, I'll wait for you all at the crossroads and we can approach together. Or if you'd like to all meet me there, that would be fine as well. And he gives you a nod and says, thank you. I really do appreciate your help. It's more than a simple watch commander is typically expected to handle. And goodness knows, Sandpoint has faced its share of hardship lately. I was hoping for a reprieve, but it seems that's not to be the case. And he sets off down the stairs and out. Most of you would know the lumber mill to be this building here on the edge of town.
We're in the wrong.
Oh, whoops! I didn't bring you guys. You would
Um,
know it to be this building on the edge of town.
Okay.
So if you want to make any preparations before you head out, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll...
Yeah,
Have
I
we
think Blythe
rested
will
since
gear up.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we've been.
we've been in town a hot minute, right?
3 weeks.
Sorry.
So I'm
Yeah.
definitely full health.
I really hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all full health. We're no longer damaged in any way. I do have a question for you, Smitty. I have
Mhm.
this silver coffer with an evocation ring in it. I would have probably tried to identify it every single day.
Okay.
I would have assisted.
Let's see. And you got that from Thistletop, right?
I believe so.
Choo-choo-choo.
It's the last thing on my list of
Right. Okay.
inventory.
All right. Let me make sure I know what the DC of identifying this particular thing is.
Because I'm just gonna make a fuck ton of spellcraft checks.
Yeah.
One for every day, and if I don't get it after 3 weeks, whatever. I'm just gonna keep identifying it every day.
It's 10 plus the level of the spell, right?
One
All right, let's see.
Spellcraft
Different properties of
identified.
a magic item. 15 plus the item's caster level.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. But now that I have my spellcraft in correctly and my new Iron Stone.
Okay.
Here goes.
Okay. Do some research. What's your modifier?
My modifier is 17 with assist, or if Vanya assists, it's +2. So
Okay. If you spend some time working on it, I would say, well, make the rolls and let's just see how long it takes you.
Will
You said-
help.
Yep. Okay. 1.
Okay. Your third day.
Okay.
Third day of doing some research and examining this thing. I would say, like, after the first 2 days, you realize like this thing is beyond even your abilities. So you had to like consult Brodert Quink, maybe find some magical tomes and really sit and like dig in and do some research on this ring to figure out what it is. On the third day, you discover the magic involved, and you determine it to be a ring of force shield.
Ooh.
Hot.
Sweet. Who would like a ring of force shield?
Mm-hmm. This ring generates a shield-sized and shield-shaped wall of force that stays with the ring and can be wielded by the wearer as if it were a heavy shield, +2 AC. This special creation has no armor check penalty or arcane spell failure chance, since it is weightless and encumbrance-free. It can be activated and deactivated at will as a free action.
Damn.
So
That's fucking good.
that's very, very, very... That is... This ring, Cardi, you determined to probably be worth more than most of the rest of the entire group's like net worth.
Mm-hmm.
I demand to know its exact value.
Right now, I believe only Cardi knows how good this
I've been
thing is.
assisting.
Oh, have you? Okay.
Yes.
All right. What's appraise? What's the
I
DC on
don't
those?
know.
I think because it's very high for your guys' level.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think Eugen would feel like he got the amulet of protection before, so I think he would defer on this one.
Yeah, I think you got the natural armor.
Yeah, especially after being sort of embarrassingly greedy back there with the crab.
Oh yeah, the giant. I forgot about that. And the giant golden, gold-plated helm.
He would look covetously at the ring and then look down and kick the dust.
Yeah. It is DC 20 determines the value of a common item. So I think you think it's a real nice ring, Vanya.
You
I
failed by
know,
less
yeah.
than 5, which she didn't fail at all. You would determine the value within 20%.
Oh, let's see. If you succeed by 5 or more, also determine it has magical properties. Although it doesn't grant knowledge of the magic item's abilities, so you could tell that it is magic if you're at 25 or more. But it says of a common item.
Yeah. Particularly rare or exotic items might increase the DC of the check by 5 or more, up to DM.
In that case, I would say I'm going to say that you guess that it's probably worth more than somewhere between 5 and 10K. But that's probably as good as you're going to do because you actually failed the check.
Yeah. I mean, it was a soft demand.
Yeah. It was worded harshly.
See, if I had the feat for forging, I could tell you the worth, but because I don't have the ability to craft rings, I don't know the worth.
Yeah.
Kind of weird how that works. I explain its properties and go to Blythe, Eugen, and Damon, I think, because those would be the ones that could benefit from it the most, and be like,
well, you could benefit from it the most probably because it's the only shield that an arcane caster can wield really without impacting their spell casting. The others can just have a regular heavy shield and it would be the same.
But don't you have to have proficiency or things to use shields? No? Okay.
Because
I think that you do have to have proficiency for
With
shields.
not for this one.
Not for it. I don't think so.
No.
well, is it a shield of force that floats in front of you, or is it a shield of force that you wear?
It's literally the same ring that I have in Carrion Crown that Havelock has. It is a ring that manifests a heavy shield made of force in front of you, or on your arm.
Then you have to have proficiency because it's a shield item.
Because you're wielding it as if it were a shield.
As if it were a heavy shield.
Sound like it floats or anything?
No.
No, it becomes like a shield effectively.
Well, if you're not proficient with shields, you just
who is eating crabs
penalty
or something.
Sorry.
Okay.
Although I guess barbarians, bards, clerics, druids, fighters, paladins, and rangers
I'm still
automatically
listening.
have shield
I
proficiency.
don't have a wireless thing.
She's got Discord on her
I
phone
will
right
mute
now.
myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Somebody's doing some light carpentry in the background.
So the thing is, if you don't have shield proficiency when you're using a shield, you take the shield's armor check penalty on attack rolls and skill checks that involve moving, except for this shield implies
It's
no.
dismissible. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I can use this shield. I will use this shield because my AC is so garbage.
Action,
Yeah. Your AC is lower than the DC to hear a conversation across the room.
Whispered conversation across the room.
Very bad. I'm pretty sure you might take damage from listening to stuff. It's not good.
Okay. Having identified this and realizing that my AC, I didn't even think about my AC. I love you guys too much.
I think that's what it's for. Is this is really for arcane casters to get a little bump.
Yeah, we just don't have casters in the
The
other
reason
game.
the reason I have it in the other game is because we don't have any arcane casters. Although now I guess we kind of do. Okay. Anybody else making any prep?
I am loading. I come out and I'm visibly loading my spring-loaded wrist sheaths. One with a potion of invisibility and one with a smoke pellet.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Oh my
also
God, are you
deliver
becoming
anybody's.
Batman?
I'm becoming Batman.
Yep.
I'm Alchemical Batman. Splatman.
I
Oh
think,
yeah,
blow
I
up the
load.
enemy.
Batman is already kind of alchemical Batman.
That's fair.
I
Yeah,
load
I just
my wands in my things, my spring-loaded things. Good idea.
will also distribute any of the items that I have made for anybody else. The Cat's Grace. Well, Blythe, did you decide if you wanted that
Yeah,
Cat's Grace
I did.
spot?
I didn't know if you could hear me, but yes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear it, but yeah, it'd be as long as you pay 150 gold, you got one.
Yep, did pay.
And I will also give names. Names are hard. Eugen, the barbarian chew that I had made for him.
Barbarian
forgot.
Chew or Chew?
Chew, Chew.
Okay.
I forgot about this. What does it do again?
Basically, it lets a round of rage last for 2 rounds instead, or like your rage can last for another free round.
Dope.
It does stain your teeth red, but brush. Yes.
Your etiquette instructor with
Eugene
literally,
brushes religiously.
Yeah.
literally a fucking like blood-soaked smile, just like
Yeah, let
yes,
me,
hello, verily, push posh.
Let me double check the exact text. Hunting a beast lure item. Barbarian chew. Go scroll down there, buddy. Bitter red chew comes from dried leaves of a stunted bush found in northern climates. It stains the teeth dark crimson, but also increases the duration of barbarian range entered into the next hour by 1 round.
It's caught, basically. Okay.
Pretty
Cool.
much.
All right.
Dope.
So
Yeah. It's anger tobacco.
uh,
Rage snus.
after okay, after the rest of you finish your preparations, unless there's anything specific somebody wants to call out, you gather and soon head over to the Sandpoint Lumber Mill, and out front of it you see a few gathered townsfolk that seem to be conversing with the guards, and one kind of tall, broad-shouldered, well-dressed man having a livid argument with Sheriff Hemlock and one of the guardsmen that's accompanying him.
Approach.
Okay.
Can we make out any of the argument before we get there?
Yeah, as you guys are walking up, he's saying, Sheriff Hemlock, this is simply ridiculous. This is my establishment. I ought to be allowed to enter the premises of a building that I own. And Sheriff Hemlock is making soothing gestures, and he's saying, as of right now, it is an active crime scene, Scarnetti. I cannot let you inside until we've finished examining it. And for goodness sake, we need to get the place cleaned up. You want rumors of these murders spreading all around? And Titus Scarnetti seems to be fuming, but isn't actually attempting to force his way inside. And as he sees you all approaching, he turns and just kind of scowls at you, Vanya, who's closest, and says, "Oh, I see. So we're employing these amateur investigators to figure out the perpetrators involved now. This is what it's fallen to, Hemlock. We shouldn't have hired some Barisian to be our lawkeeper in these lands." And he just stalks off down the road and kind of bumps some of the other townspeople out of the way.
Vanya turns around to Cardi and says, "Was that racism?"
It
Sounded like racism.
I never really understood racism among the races of men.
Roll for wokeness, I guess. Not sure.
I
What's that?
feel
Are these
like
other fellows
As a dwarf,
Scarnetti's
I've
guys, or-
experienced racism.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt. What was that?
Are these fellows with the white around them? Are they Scarnetti's guys or are they guards people?
These guys are guards people, the ones dressed in like armor.
Yeah.
The others seem to be townsfolk that are just sort of clamoring for a view or gossiping about it. You gather that probably word is beginning to spread about whatever happened last night. And as soon as Sheriff Hemlock sees you all, he gestures for you all to come forward. He says, "You're all prepared then, I take it."
I guess as prepared as we're gonna be.
Yes.
Well,
Let me mix something up real quick. I'll step to the side. Let you guys talk to him.
Sheriff, it may be wise next time to allow me to speak with Lord Scarnetti. I do have some familiarity with dealing with the nobility.
I don't think he's necessarily nobility, but
Master Scarnetti?
I think Master Scarnetti would probably be more apt. But Sheriff Hemlock looks at you and says, "To be frank with you, Eugene, I didn't realize he would be here. I was hoping that word wouldn't have reached him yet. This is one of the operations that his family owns. But it makes sense that he's upset, but we can't have him going and snooping around inside. After all, we haven't actually discounted anyone as a suspect as of yet."
The less
What?
contamination, the better.
Was it his family members?
I don't believe so. He employed a pair of workers here, Ivor Thorn and someone else whose name escapes me because I'm not thinking on the right chapter of this book right now, but
I don't have the script in front of me at the moment.
I have to find the right page, and I'm sure I'll know who it is
I'm
pretty
sorry.
soon.
Did you say script?
It's okay. I understand.
Benny Harker and Ivor Thorn worked here, but Ivor is at the guardhouse at the moment. He's had a rough patch of it. The rest of it, I think, may be up to you all to determine.
Didn't we know somebody named Thorn? Last
I
name?
I don't remember.
don't remember a Thorn.
I could be imagining things.
So are they inside then? Yeah.
Yes, I'll have my guardsmen stand down, and you all may go in and examine it. And he walks over to the door here and knocks, and pretty soon a guardsman appears, and he says, "Clear out of the way for the moment. We've got our heroes of Sandpoint here are going to examine the scene." And the guard comes out. Give me a perception.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Yeah, fair.
So did I.
Who's next?
I
Wait,
rolled a
I didn't roll a
13.
3.
You
Is that
you
a
also
flat?
rolled a 3. I think did
Yeah.
we all roll 3s? We all rolled
Probably.
3s.
Plus 0?
Roll
Except for
20
Royman.
so slow.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
If you're just loading in, sometimes it can be...
I rolled.
I had to
I rolled a
reload.
3 plus 11 plus 3. You know.
okay. All right, well, he passes by, and he looks like a regular guardsman.
I imagine Blythe is pretty distracted and curious what's inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you walk up to the door, Blythe, Sheriff Hemlock, walks over and just unlatches it.
As
Thanks.
Oh no, it's already open. I didn't even include doors this time, you guys. I decided fuck it, because it seemed to be a real problem.
you can leave doors off of every dungeon that we go into for the rest of the game and still not have made up for all the ones we had to go through in the
I think you guys have done 5 chapters worth of doors in the one
Yeah.
dungeon, so I figured we're done with that.
So Vanya knocks back a potion as she walks up here to the door and turns to everybody and is like, "Well, are we ready?" And her pupils are just like huge.
She looks like she's had 20 cups of coffee. Just fully jacked. All right.
My Vanya, what is this this new extract you've managed to concoct for yourself? I've not seen
Heightened
this one before.
awareness.
Ah, that'll be useful for investigation.
Well, then perhaps you've noticed this sawmill has no doors. The plot thickens.
Seems dangerous. Children could wander in. Probably
it-
for the best. Natural
Not
selection.
only a murderer, but a door thief as well.
Oh, you think the lumber mill they could replace it?
Everyone knows doors are sacred in this town.
It would have had to be several people to carry off doors that big.
The lumber mill has
I
the
am
best.
looking
Has the best
Suspect
doors in
list
town.
gets
There-
narrower and narrower. All right.
Anyway, let's proceed.
Hey,
See, is it bright out here to you all?
it's your eyes, Vanya. Learn what your extracts do to yourself before you put them in your body.
Where's the fun in that?
Blythe, as you step in, you can clearly see that whatever has taken place down here, it was indeed just as bloody as and messy as Sheriff Hemlock had told you. There seemed to be these torn, ripped, and shredded human remains along what looks like the output of a log splitter. The grisly remains are very difficult to identify. With a perception check of 22 and 21, Eugene and Vanya, you can determine a few things by looking at the corpse and noticing that it is that of a young woman with blonde hair.
This appears to have been a young woman with blonde hair.
A knowledge local check might help you determine who in town that would connect to.
What a shame. She seems like a 10.
Damon, you can see that she did have a pretty rockin' bod. It's less rockin' now.
Right.
Yeah,
You
it's
degenerate.
more dripping.
Uh,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Oh, nice. Cardi, I think Cardi and Vanya, you both look at it and you can pick out that this is almost certainly Katrine Vinder, who is the sister of the redheaded woman who slept with what's the dwarf's name? Fuck, I can't even remember
Who
now.
fucking
Oh.
cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah. Wait, it's her sister?
The flirty red woman. Yeah, you think that
Yeah.
this is almost certainly Shayless Vinder's younger sister, Katrine.
Wasn't the Avenger the Elder guy like fucking crazy? Gonna eat anyone who touches his kids?
He's
sort of
well
person?
liked, but he's known. Yes, he is known to be extremely protective of his daughters and to
I have a mean right hook.
have a really nasty right hook.
Hmm.
All right.
Mr. Vinda.
Healing for cause of death. I mean, it seems pretty obvious that she was run through a fucking wood chipper, but you know.
Sure, roll. Yeah, roll it anyway.
I think that's right. Let me double check. Is heal's wisdom based, right?
Yep.
Okay, so that's actually a 19.
Okay. So it's not as all right. So with a 19, what I'll give you is that you can see that clearly the vast majority of damage to her body was from being run through a sawmill. Pretty obviously. But you do notice some other cuts and marks that look like signs of a struggle that you anticipate. You can't see how a sawmill could have caused them.
It looks like there was some violence before her body was run through this apparatus. Some sort of struggle.
Well, I doubt she went into it willingly.
Probably not, but that means she was alive when it happened.
Great.
or at least very near to. Perhaps she was either forced into it or fell into it by accident.
Blythe, roll survival for me.
Okay, I did. It's an 18.
Oh. Okay. You don't see anything in here. You're not seeing any tracks. Nothing looks out of the ordinary. There's
Not even
places...
bloody footprints in or out?
No.
It does seem like she could have been attacked, killed, and then put in the wood chipper. No?
Entirely possible.
I want to mention that the wood chipper appears to run up through like a pillar shape. So it looks like they feed the wood in from above, from the second floor, and it comes out down here.
Okay.
One may wonder how such an apparatus works and why it would be constructed that way. The answer is, apparently it's just how they do shit.
Perhaps there will be more evidence up there.
Hopefully, a
looking
second
up into
body. There are supposed to be two of them, aren't there?
I believe so.
Cardi ventures to the stairs and starts walking up.
Blythe will follow.
Here we go.
Yep.
Aye,
Vanya
the
will
second body's up
Vanya.
here.
As you arrive upstairs, you can see pretty clearly the torn up body of Benny Harker.
Ooh.
No, I can't.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Eugen.
What a cool room!
Yeah.
Look at the view from up here.
You think it looks like a super chill room?
Yeah, she must have had her period.
15 on a heal check to see what happened to our boy Harker.
Yeah.
I'd like to roll above a 7 today. Gosh.
Yeah, it'd be super dope for everybody. Some very middling rolls.
Harker's body has been horribly desecrated. The poor man has been affixed to the wall by several hooks normally used to hang machinery. The body is mutilated. The face carved away and lower jaw missing entirely. His bare chest is defaced as well, bearing a strange rune in the shape of a 7-pointed star.
Well, they weren't very nice.
That star, that was in the dungeons, right?
Yes.
God damn it.
The Sahedrin rune.
Yeah.
Yes. Which you had investigated a few weeks ago, Vanya, and interviewed Broderick Quink about quite extensively, and he had given you, I think, all of his knowledge that he had at hand on it.
Yeah, which I totally recall.
It appeared to be one that was connected with the seven virtues in Thessalonian culture, and the 7 different schools of magic.
Alrighty.
Let's see if I can refresh you on that.
It's a Thessalonian symbol related to their concepts of virtue and also schools of magic.
Sounds like they don't have much fun around here.
One that's doing good.
What Broder remembered was that, and a lot of this was conjecture and theory, but he referred to it as the Sahedrin rune, which signifies not only the 7 virtues of rule, generally agreed to have been wealth, fertility, honest pride, abundance, eager striving, righteous anger, and rest, and also the 7 schools of magic recognized by Thassalon. You'll also remember that it matches the pendant that you found on Nualia's body. Blythe,
Damn.
as you are looking around and analyzing the floor for tracks, you do indeed find some going
Okay.
fritting back and forth throughout this room.
Like just one set of tracks, or have there been multiple things through here beyond us?
Oh my god, did I? Son of a bitch.
What?
All right. I literally had a graphic and I put it from the GM layer to the map layer and it just disappeared behind
Oh no!
everything. That's fun.
If you right-click the...
Oh, I can send it to back.
Yep.
There we go.
Oh.
Thank you. That was clever.
Ooh.
My God, it's a Bigfoot.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, so the picture looks like humanoid feet.
Yes, you find you find many footprints going back and forth, but you are able to pick out a pair of them that are clearly barefoot, running back and forth throughout this scene. It's not entirely clear to you that there's like one specific path that was taken. They seem to be just kind of walking back and forth throughout, and they do appear to be kind of bloody.
It does seem like beyond us, it was just this one pair, and it wasn't like accompanied by people wearing shoes.
It was
Yeah.
you find boot tracks as well, but that's to be expected.
Yeah. Okay.
In here.
These ones are the weird ones. Okay.
Yeah, these are the standouts.
Blythe is gonna crouch down and like she's on her hands and knees, I imagine, like looking at the footprints and like tasting them and touching them and
Ew.
sniffing them. And I will cast residual tracking.
When I would say you probably, hopefully for you, you smell them before you.
Yeah.
okay.
Ew. I was like, he said there was blood.
Because as you swipe up some residue from one of these footprints and you waft it under your nose, you get the distinct and overpowering aroma of rotting meat.
Oh.
And
This
you already
doesn't-
said you tasted it, so
Yeah.
I imagine she is
That's
just kind
canon.
of going,
you know,
yeah.
yeah.
Anya looks at you approvingly.
It smells like, tastes like rotting meat. Like not just the normal blood stuff, but
Are you sure you're not just burping up your lunch?
no, Amico cooked for me. It was good food.
Are you telling me that the person who did this was not only incredibly rude but has horrible personal hygiene? I hate this person already.
They're
The
walking
word-
around barefoot.
This person is anathema to you, Eugene. This is like the absolute opposite of you.
This is not how you treat a guest.
Never mind the murders. This is the real crime.
Yeah. We must
Uh,
shoe this shoeless vagrant immediately. Also solve the murder, probably.
Can I recognize what what type of creature would make these footprints?
What is this spell that you cast? What does that do?
Oh, well, residual tracking, which will
Oh,
take
okay.
care of all of it.
What does that take care of?
Let me paste it.
Okay.
All of it. Takes care of all of it.
Well, I don't know
Everything,
what that
everything.
means.
By touching,
Everything.
Congratulations! You've solved the whole campaign.
by touching the
You had
footprints,
Three starts next
Tracking
session.
earlier.
Pat yourselves on the back.
Yeah, you've solved everything. Residual tracking suddenly zips the murders into prison.
Yep.
fabulous. So much
And
easier to
us up
play.
Clear
to
mental
level
image of the
6 or
person or
7?
creature that made it. Interesting.
I get the appearance of the creature when, at the exact moment it made the imprint, including telling features, expressions, gear. If it was on a horse, I can see the horse and the rider.
Yeah, so she solved the mystery.
Wow.
God damn!
That is
You're like
a
Aragorn.
good-ass spell.
I
feel
see
like this
him.
is the same as that, like, or whatever that spell, like that druid spell is to like learn about diseases. Like you just learn everything about diseases. Like, well, fuck.
All right. Okay, hold on. I have to make some some adjustments here to what I can show you without. That's
Sure.
making sure you just get what you get.
Yep. I see the person creature thing that made the footprints.
Yeah.
Do they look as uncouth as they seem?
I don't know. Shh. I'm trying to see.
Sorry.
Bomb the footprints.
All right. All right. I have to do this really quick because I can't just give you the materials that I have immediately at hand without totally fucking
Right.
giving everything away. But
I
We
mean,
did
you
it,
can
guys.
just
We ruined
describe it too.
that is
Nice job, Blythe.
good ass spell.
That's why I made sure I set aside time to prepare.
I find
Bruh.
that the best spells are ass spells. Really.
Okay. Not dispels.
Ass spells are better than ass smells.
Is
Also
Blythe
true.
a rogue?
I'm a ranger. I track
Ranger.
things.
Oh, okay. I get those confused because they have R's.
Our words. No, I'm a rhyme.
Raider,
You got that.
rodeo person.
Rodeo person?
It's a rodeoist.
Mm-hmm. Radiologist?
Radiologist. That's it. That's the one. Print it, ship it.
All right. I
Aw,
guess I
dude,
should have. I
tell
could have
me.
done the whole thing.
Speaking of, Chris got his 2E book for
Yeah.
Pathfinder.
Did you just kill a puma with it?
Oh, nice.
No.
Oh, I didn't get mine yet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, it's huge, is what I'm saying. The book.
It is. It is.
It is
pretty
a
thick.
textbook.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it into Discord because that's way easier than going through Roll20.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You get this image as you
Blythe
cast.
is the only one though. So I would be more
Blythe.
comfortable with her being the only one seeing it. So I'm not gonna look.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is the same clothing and everything too?
Yeah. Nobody else
Okay.
look. I'm messaging
Oh,
it.
Okay,
To
I
shit.
thought we're good.
already did.
Yeah,
That's
I
too
looked.
late. Scrub it
My
from
bad.
your memory.
Okay.
I'm
I don't have
trusting
enough
you.
rum.
Okay. Tanner, delete memes. Oh shit, that was
We're good.
85%.
I can
don't
see
remember
him.
the last
It's
2 days or
Yeah.
math.
Yes, this is the image that you're presented with when you use that spell.
it's a man of some sort. He's got long pointed ears and like a tongue that just it's like a snake but even like bigger and longer and claws and
Probably
he's
not
like
to help.
dressed like an aristocrat. He in a long blue like jacket and he has like a cleaver of some sort or a machete and he's just covered in blood. I don't know. I don't think I know him. He has a shaved head. I
All right, who's
Oh.
a sketch artist? Anybody?
Vanya has been sketching the scene and
Okay.
is
Do you
like
know-
taking notes of what you say.
It
That is
doesn't
pretty
really
good.
sound like a person. Is it some sort of creature?
I don't. Do I recognize it as any sort of creature, or could I roll to know?
It looks definitively humanoid.
Yeah.
But certainly not human. I think if you get that, yeah, you could roll. Probably religion. If you have any of that, or maybe
Nope.
maybe nature would even take like a heal check.
I have nature. I can do nature.
I guess I could try religion off your description, but there's gonna be a penalty.
You take a penalty, yeah, for
I
that.
would try nature
He
through
looks
description
a lot
as well.
like I'm just like a. Well,
Let's see.
he looks like a human man, at least. Well, or maybe even more like an elven man with the pointed ears, but his tongue like is really grossly long and like snakes out of his mouth.
Sounds like he'd be good in bed.
But his teeth aren't like
I mean,
pointed, I guess.
I don't
I
think this
think-
is what most people have in mind for the end of their evening. And
Wh-
I'll gesture to the man who still has his guts like out.
Yeah.
There are many strange expectations throughout
with,
the world, but yes.
With that nature, Blythe, I think you can tell that it's certainly some sort of undead, which would also match with the foul smell on these bare footprints.
I'm pretty sure he's undead. I don't think. I don't know any more than that, but I can like feel it.
To get anything more specific, I would need religion.
Yeah, I don't. Not
But
trained.
I think that's fair. You got a clear image of this
Yeah.
thing. You've got the scent. I think even though nature shouldn't tell you whether something's undead, I think you'd be able to tell.
I like to say, it's her favorite enemy, so I like to pretend she's more familiar.
Oh yeah, she would be, but not with the subspecies
Right.
necessarily.
Undead, bad.
Yeah, I think if you want to relate to the best of your ability, give me if you want a heal check or something like that might boost your ability to relate the details to if anybody else wanted to try to make a knowledge check.
That's the best I can do there.
Yeah, that's not going to be much. That's a good roll though. Yeah, I think that you would determine that that while this is undead, you don't think that it's a normal native undead. It looks like there's been some sort of twisting process done to this. This is certainly an abnormal. This isn't just like a regular zombie or something.
Yeah. I wonder if it has anything to do with the things we saw they were doing underground. He doesn't seem like a regular, just out of the grave kind of zombie. It's like, I don't know. There's something different.
I thought we put an end to all that.
certainly
We left the
connected.
zombies in the pits. We forgot some. Raymond,
Did we?
we didn't go back and kill them. What if they got out?
You think he's one of them?
I don't think that.
I'll also say, Blythe, that confirming your suspicions previously, this definitely looks like the same jacket that you remember Aldern Foxglove wearing the last time you'd seen him.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't her eyes get really big and she's like, wasn't Al wearing a blue jacket too? Like the ornate kind, like the fancy with the buttons and she's like trying to gesture to that has a long like tail and
I seem to remember him wearing such a jacket.
she looks very
You know those pussy ass frock coats all those soft people wear.
One of those lame ass
one of those-
soft boy.
One of those soy boy coats.
Soy boy cut coats.
All right. Who else was doing something in here?
I
feel like
Yeah, I
Cardi and I was probably like writing or drawing based on Blythe's description in my notes, but like
yeah.
I'm trying to help with identifying it, but like I only have nature.
I would like to examine okay, so are the parts of his body that were that are no longer attached to his body, are they here?
The jaw. Let's see. The body's mutilated, the face carved away, and lower jaw missing entirely. His bare chest is defaced with the bearing of a strange rune. I think the jaw is the only thing that's missing entirely, and it doesn't appear to be here.
Well,
Okay.
Chris knows why that is, but I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone would.
If you wanted to make a check of some kind to confirm why that probably is. Although I will point out that most of us have been playing long enough to notice that like anytime there's a murder mystery, the head or jaw or tongue is always missing.
Yeah.
Because they made that one fucking spell. How much you want to read into that is up to you. Matt, there's a spell called Speak with Dead that for some reason
figured
they made, which means that now every murder mystery in D&D has to have this contrived reason that
Every corpse is mutilated.
Yeah, they are all mutilated in some way that would render the corpse impossible of speaking. Because
other than the dead part,
it would quickly undercut most murder mysteries if you could literally just ask the dead person who killed them.
Unless the person who killed them was invisible.
That could be also.
Mm-hmm.
I pass you a potion of invisibility.
I'm still
and
admiring the view.
But I think too that like another option that people don't use very often. I'm pretty sure you can only cast Speak with Dead on a corpse once, and then no one else can ever again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that'd be a good house rule, even if it wasn't like an official one.
I think what Chris is saying is that you could do it, like whoever killed them could cast it on them and prevent other.
Could have done that just to.
Yep.
Who killed you? You did, sir. Ha! Nobody else will ever find that. Now to just wait 10 minutes until this spell dissipates.
Pretty much.
Yeah, what is everybody else doing as you're in the room besides that we haven't covered?
Having seen the jaw that's missing, I was looking to see if there were like more body parts that had been removed or anything like that.
Clearly there was a violent struggle up here, and there's some sort of battle.
Can we see if there is blood on the mechanism of this saw contraption?
Yes,
at this level.
Yeah, you can look down and you can clearly see that the insides of this contraption are spattered with blood and gore.
Looks like that Katrine was thrown into the mechanism from up here.
Well, that tracks with what we thought.
Mm-hmm.
What is this, like, tan, honey-colored stuff on the ground?
It looks like there was an ale that was on the table that got knocked over, or a bottle of it that had smashed on the floor.
What were these people doing here?
That was
prior
exactly
to
my
their
question.
expiring.
He was pacing the creature. He was just walking. You can see the tracks. They just go around and around and back and forth.
So he was questioning them.
Or just waiting.
Do these people work here?
I think who had succeeded on the knowledge check before?
Me and Vanya.
Yeah, you and Vanya would have known that. The rumor about town is that most of the inhabitants of this neighborhood seem to be upset that Banny Harker and Ivor Thorne would stay up through the evening and would run the saw blades later into the evening than people would have preferred, and they were known to work here. Katrine Vinder was not.
So, was there perhaps some sort of tryst or assignation that got interrupted by this creature?
Interesting.
Is it possible this creature could have been sent by
Some
someone?
sort of three-way situation?
Some sort of, yeah. I mean, you guys, if that happens, then you guys will have at least one three-way per chapter. So far, who knows? Give me a perception check, whoever is examining the room more closely. I think Vanya and Blythe for sure have.
I just realized I was muted.
Yeah.
I am going to, because I'm not really good at investigating murders, I'm going to
Damn.
use magic.
Oh!
Well, I'll be back in
Blythe.
half an hour when Blythe is done carrying the team.
Blythe, as you're tracking, you notice that a checkered hunter's cap just appears on your head with a little pipe, and I think
My word, Watson.
Just appears, yeah, and you start suddenly realizing that everybody else around you has the mind of goldfish, basically. As you discover near the contraption, there's a wood splitting axe that is dropped in such a way that it looks like it embedded itself into the floor. Vanya is kind of standing over it right now, but between her feet, you see it, and you spot that there's some sort of stains and blood on the blade.
Vanya, there's something else on that blade, right next to you at your feet. It looks like not just blood.
Anybody want to try to wrench it out? My arms aren't what they used to be.
I think I can
yeah,
get
sure.
it. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Strength check?
Yes.
I can do that shit.
It's
not opening my sheet.
Not the greatest roll.
No.
But it's an axe that's embedded in a floor. It's not incredibly difficult. The difficulty is pulling it out with the finesse that you don't like your hand doesn't slip. You don't ruin any evidence on the blade. Eugene and Roymond working together, you guys are able to extricate this axe without smearing anything on it, which is handy because you notice that there are bloody fingerprints on the handle of the axe. And Blythe, what you had noted as well was that there appears to be some strange smear on the blade of it.
There's some sort of residue, I think, on the blade. Vanya, can you maybe recognize what that is? Not
yeah,
the blood.
I will.
Obviously, all the blood, but the other.
I will look at the not blood stuff.
Blythe, something that occurred to me from earlier when you sniffed these footprints. Make a fortitude saving throw.
Mm.
Not feel icky.
All right, good.
Not terrible.
The overwhelming stench of it that you had smelled in the footprints is even stronger on this axe, and you can tell immediately. Anybody examining this very closely would very likely have their breakfast challenged.
Oh gosh! Now that you brought it up, Vanya, it smells even worse. Like the footprints tasted bad, but this is.
Well, I mean, I don't really understand your process, but shouldn't you taste this too?
I'm pretty sure I know what it tastes like.
Vanya will step to the side of the room and inhale a deep breath and take some examine, hold her breath and examine the fluid and see if it looks like anything she's familiar with, and maybe scrape some of it into a vial.
Okay, you can easily do that, and since you're holding your breath, and considering your character's experience,
All about the fumes.
I think you could do this. You could do this automatically with taking a 10 or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I can handle.
Yeah. Give me knowledge religion. Anybody who's expecting this goop and smear and blood.
Ugh, don't have it.
Eugene finds this disgusting.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good roll.
As you're examining it, you can identify clearly the lingering stink of corruption that is much more than a normal body can ordinarily produce. You can determine, you can determine that the axe was probably used within the last 24 hours. You would suspect last night against 100% some form of corporeal undead. With a 20, you're not able to determine anything with any more specificity.
Oh dear.
Can I infer from this that a sword can cut this thing?
You could, yeah. It seems that the axe was definitely effective at rending some damage into whatever this undead creature was.
Well, my work here is done.
That's all we need to know.
Yep.
Kill undead.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
I'm going to detect magic around just to see if there is any. But
Okay. You don't detect any
So-
magic. No magical auras.
It seems to Royman then that the woman may have come up here and found this scene and attacked the undead creature with the axe, and then become like overpowered, or they had a tussle, and that's what all the pacing is.
Certainly could be, but why was she here to begin with?
I mean,
think we
she,
need to
she
learn.
works here, right? So
Shalis does not. Or, Katrine does not.
so she may have been coming to visit him after hours, maybe?
What do
Cardi does the finger motion that Royman did earlier.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of what
yeah.
I was wondering. Maybe she came to visit him and found this rather
With knowledge-
terrifying scene.
With knowledge local, would we know that there was like any sort of involvement between Banny Harker and Katrine Vender? Like
I
town gossip or anything like that?
I don't know that it would have been town gossip. Something like that. Yeah, make a local check, but I would consider that to probably be a challenging one.
Wouldn't it also like we would know that her dad would go crazy?
You already know that about
Yeah.
Van Vinder.
Well, we already got one vendor girl who's off, taking it where she can get it, despite
Right.
Daddy's penchant for beating the shit out of people.
Yeah.
I mean, why not another?
I think Shalis Vinder is well known for being a bit of a flirt and she likes to she's a very sex positive young lady.
Yeah.
Um,
She likes to get dicked.
she likes to get dick
She
down.
likes to make regular D appointments.
Yeah.
Well, you do have to get that vitamin D. That's important.
Vanya and Cardi, you guys would know well enough that that's not something that Katrine is known about town for. As far as her specific involvement here with Banny Harker, it's just not something that you know.
Okay.
So are we thinking this gentleman was the target and the young lady was an unfortunate victim? Stumbled upon
Could
the
be.
crime?
Or perhaps the creature intervened and slew one of them and kept with the other one's body being ruined by the mechanism. This was all he had left to pin up. Perhaps we should learn if the fates of the other, those men that the captain had mentioned, the conmen out at that farm, if they were all mutilated as a group.
He said they still the marks that the star shape.
Yes. So perhaps he would have intended to do it to her as well, but she was pulverized by the mechanism.
Vanya, I'm also going to add, you had done a heal check on Banny Harker's body, right?
Yes.
I think that was the 17 you had rolled. By examining more closely, especially these rune markings, you discover several additional wounds. Unlike the deeper slashes on the body, these smaller gashes almost seem to have been made by claws on a 5-fingered human-sized hand. And familiar now with the rotten scent from the axe, you can find that the rotten scent is even closer near these wounds and more pungent than it is on any of the other marks on the body, or even in the room at large, because there's a faint odor throughout this entire building, or throughout this entire floor. And you note that probably what Sheriff Hemlock had been referring to as far as the identity of the victims. This guy only seems to be identifiable through a faded tattoo of a raven across his lower abdomen. But since most of his face and jaw are missing, nothing else no, that would be the only way you could identify this guy as Banny Harker.
Okay.
Perhaps
Mostly
we should
information.
talk with Master Scarnetti. He may know enemies of his employees.
Or
Hmm.
perhaps we should also additionally speak with Shalis. Perhaps the sister would know more rather than going to the father directly. Given one of our former comrades' involvement with Shalis, it might be best to speak with him only out of necessity. We can leave that to the guard captain.
Yeah. Smitty, one other thing I know was going over the favorite enemy. I can make knowledge skill checks untrained when attempting to identify my favorite enemy.
Yep.
Okay, great. So
Yep,
you could
you
roll a religion.
Uh-huh.
Did you already do that?
It's really good.
I don't think you did that already.
I don't think she did.
I did.
I haven't seen a religion check from her.
Oh, baby!
Yay!
All right.
Oh, baby, that's 2 for you tonight.
This
All
week,
Like,
right.
share, man.
this week on
Yeah, dude.
Blythe wins Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In addition to your cap and pipe, a monocle appears in your eye.
No, a giant
As-
magnifying glass in her hand.
As you
Yeah.
determine with absolute certainty, this is a ghast. This is some sort of transformed ghoul creature. Let me see if I can find more on this. Unlike a normal ghoul, these creatures are known to possess higher levels of intelligence and to be far more deadly and cunning than a normal undead ghoul, which are like somewhat mindless. You know that a natural 20, man. I think you pretty much got everything.
Copy pasta.
Favorite enemy?
Yeah. What's fair here? 5 questions? 6 questions or something? I'm just going to give you a rundown on them overall, okay?
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
The entire text.
Yeah. You know that like Vanya had ascertained, they have 5 really sharp claws. They leave this awful stench around. You know that they specialize in part by making these natural attacks with their claws and with their bite that paralyze their prey, rendering them helpless. You know that that creatures that are bitten by a ghast can have a potential to catch ghoul fever, which doesn't mean that they just like ghouls a lot. It means that they eventually become a ghoul sometime within the next 12 to 24 hours, usually.
Okay.
You've already been able to tell that the stench of a ghast has the potential to render one sickened, unless they're able to beat it with a fortitude check.
Mhm.
And yeah, they tend to prefer slashing with their claws and biting in combat.
Do I know if you get ghoul fever, can you become a ghoul even after you have been killed? Or is that only how you become a ghoul? I guess they're undead.
You know that a humanoid that dies of ghoul fever rises as a ghoul at the next midnight.
Okay.
So it depends
Yeah.
on whether or not they actually contracted ghoul fever.
Mhm.
If they resisted it, then they'd be effectively immune to it.
Nope, can't risk it. Burn the bodies.
No?
Guys, this I recognize it now with the smell and this was a ghast. It's like a
that?
ghoul, but worse. A lot worse.
So what does that mean? What do we need? What do we do?
I don't know do I know where they come from or what attracts these things?
You know that a ghast, similar to normal ghouls, they hunger for human flesh or for living flesh.
Okay.
I don't know if I can answer that question any more specifically.
Okay. Yeah, I just wondered.
Yeah. I don't think that I think identifying it as a ghast would give you the information that I have, but yeah, the religion check wouldn't give you information on this particular one, just them in general.
Do we know how long they can live?
Like as an undead?
Yeah. I don't know, like, if they're, like, effectively... I've got a theory working in my head.
So the ghouls that are summoned, or the ghast that created
the ghast. How long do ghasts? I assume that being undead, they can live for, however long.
It's not mentioned in their character sheet, but yeah, I don't believe that undead really age, right? Like,
yeah.
They decay, but that's...
I mean, they would decay.
I think I'm on the same channel as Tanner, though. I think he was suspecting that ghast was brand new or recent.
Nope.
No?
Interesting question.
My Vanya, I guess, will say I'm having some suspicions that well, so we don't know exactly how Noalia became enthralled with the darker parts that she had involved herself with. I'm wondering if perhaps this ghast, if it indeed was the one that wrote the note to Blythe, was referring to Noalia, and that perhaps this creature has been around for quite some time, and is intent on something to do with the Thessalonians and the remains of their culture here, given the markings on this body. If that ghast is connected to them, it could be quite ancient indeed.
I don't know, but we need to do something with these bodies. If they were bitten, we can't have more of these things.
Well, I don't think Katrine is much to worry about.
Yeah, I think that Katrine, you guys would determine that even if her mangled form did return to life as a ghoul, it probably would not be particularly dangerous. It is pretty horribly mangled. Danny Harker may be a little different, but probably wouldn't be great at biting or seeing because his face is like ripped off.
But still. Yes, we should have Captain. Is it Captain Hemlock? Is he a captain?
Sheriff.
Sheriff Hemlock. That's the word. We should have Sheriff Hemlock's men take these remains into custody and see that they are dealt with in the manner, assuming that they have been contaminated. So that
I'd rather be safe than sorry.
Exactly.
We will want to include Father Xantus as well.
Yes.
One thing we may want to mention to the sheriff also, I don't know much about gas, but I do know grammar, and the note said, join the pack. There may already be more than one.
This is true as well.
Oh no. Okay.
Is that the plural for ghouls? Do they form packs?
I believe it's a nasty.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go with that. Or maybe
you can't stockpile inspiration, but goddamn if you're not giving it a shot.
Okay.
Add another one.
I set that one up pretty good though too.
Yeah, you did.
That was good.
You just need to use your inspiration more, Tanner.
I just rolled too well.
Yeah, the problem is doesn't usually need it.
Yeah. Although
unless you're using a crossbow.
Oh God. I need a plus 10 across the board to use one of those effectively.
So
I don't know that this location is going to yield much more to us.
yeah, I don't.
Tracks. Where did it go? I only see these ones. Are there? Does anyone see any like leading out of the building? I didn't see any downstairs.
You didn't see any downstairs, and you've seen a lot inside.
Yeah.
I look up
all,
at the ceiling.
all throughout this room. It looks like a ceiling.
There's nobody in the rafters.
It looks back at you.
The whole building's a mimic. Burn it down.
Roll for initiative.
Nietzsche warned me about this.
No.
If you gaze into the rafters gaze back.
Gaze back into you. Yeah, you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, so we
Do I
don't
see
see.
up here? Did it take the stairs, or are there tracks on the windows?
You
Like,
don't see any on the
open
stairs.
windows,
Yeah, as you follow the tracks more clearly, you see that they do lead to the window.
which window?
This one here.
Oh, they come. I think it came in through here. Did it? Is the window? I'm assuming like broken open, or
Yeah, it's
you just
thrown
don't
open.
have windows?
I didn't. Oh, did I
Okay.
not? I might have just not fucked with. Oh, I didn't
It's
put
shown.
yeah,
Yeah.
anything in here. Yeah, there's like there's like a window, and but it looks like it was a lot of these windows are just open upstairs.
I think it must have crawled in through here. It climbed up. It maybe up the spinny thing with the wheels.
From up here, you can't tell, and it would probably be very difficult to tell anyway, considering that it's like a water
Yeah,
wheel.
I'm just guessing.
So
But
hard to
that's
read
where this
tracks
window
on them
is.
moving. Yeah, but yeah, that's where this window looks like it's near there. Leads down, down to the water wheel.
We need to gather more information. We should speak with the sheriff and perhaps then speak with Shayless Vendor.
And the farmhouse. We need to make sure those
Is-
bodies were disposed of.
Is this mug over here not disturbed?
Yeah, it looks like it avoided the calamity in the room.
Okay. I want to look at the mug.
Okay.
Who did the mug like? I'm looking for like maybe lipstick or like maybe undead juices on the handle. Something to indicate who was drinking out of this.
Little column A, little column B.
So, Raymond, the only thing remarkable about this mug is that it looks like it was filled to the brim and not drank from at all.
Okay.
But you've
Damon,
also...
you should taste it. See what it is.
I don't know. Blythe was tasting footprints, so I think she could be better at
My
that.
God.
Yeah, that was a
Actually,
lot.
alchemist, could you maybe see if there's poison in this?
Or maybe they just didn't get to it. Like that maybe they poured the drinks and then the thing appeared.
That's a good question. Let me see if I can detect poison.
It
I
murdered this
don't-
man before the digestive? Unbelievable.
Several different plots were transpiring here.
Yeah.
I'm good at handling poison, but I'm not sure what goes into identifying if something has been poisoned.
I'm pretty sure that you can do it by taste testing a little bit of it. Can't you do it in the same way that you can like identify a potion?
Yeah, which would be perception. But I would assume you could also roll alchemy.
I can use craft alchemy, I think, to identify potions.
I would let you roll like one.
And then you can make poison after this, which is dope.
Whoa. Okay, where's my craft alchemy? What? in the fuck? Am I having perception, profession? Where's oh, there it is. Sorry. There we go.
As you take a little like taste
I
test of
wafted.
this,
You waft it first.
okay, you
I'm
waft
a professional.
it. Yeah, it smells like it's like some
Flat beer.
it smells like flat Winter's Drop mead.
Mm.
Uh,
Flat
which is-
meat. I don't detect anything else.
mhm. Nothing beyond that.
Looks like the drinks were poured and then, well, the situation interruptus.
This
Hmm.
table is knocked over. So who is sitting here? Royman's just trying to figure out like the scene as it was before
Mm-hmm.
shit went down.
If you can come up with a compelling role to try to determine that, I'd allow it.
Guess intelligence?
Yeah.
Sense motive, maybe? Kind of based on the what's.
That's
Give me your
stretch.
secrets table.
He's taking the available information and trying to deduce. So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
guess intelligence over
let's
sense
probably
motive, which would be
go
wisdom.
within. I think you and Blythe working together. I would allow you to roll an int check thing.
Would you like some assistance with that?
Well,
I believe
what I say is
you.
Blythe has put together the tracks as well as one could.
Yeah.
That's actually
don't-
pretty good.
For an int,
Yeah.
you have a 0 to intelligence.
Yep.
Oh, I guess that's true. You're an oracle. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take an incredible amount of genius to determine that. Like, looking at the scuffle, you see that there's the broken bottle of Winter Drop mead on the ground, and this glass remains untouched. You think that probably this wasn't poured for someone who was already here. This is probably poured in anticipation of company, and that Banny Harker was probably drinking from the bottle when this violence erupted.
Uh-huh. So he poured one out for her, thinking she would be here soon.
Maybe he might have poured one out for the guest.
Yeah, I suppose.
Could be a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's bad. You shouldn't do that.
This
He's
seems
scrolling
like
now.
It would be a
the-
ghoulish, ghastly guess.
This seems exactly like the scenario as I anticipated.
This is getting real Count Chocula here real quick.
Oh god.
We'll do the monster mash. The monster mash.
Yeah, so my
That
guess
meat bottle is smashed.
my guess is he was already up on the wall when she got here. And she found the axe. Like, probably saw what was happening, found the axe, brought it up here, attacked the thing, trying to save him, and then she got fucked up and thrown down this saw blade thing. And then the thing probably finished with him, and then left out the window. After having apparently not consumed very much human flesh. So, probably had ulterior motives.
To be clear, I think ghouls hunger for living flesh.
Okay.
Gas.
I don't know exactly. It doesn't mention specifically whether or not gas do that. I would anticipate they probably do
Right.
as well. But it seems like their biting is in part to create ghoul
Create
fever.
ghouls, yeah.
It doesn't
I mean,
specifically...
he did take a mandible lollipop with him.
That is true. He did take a snack for the road.
Mandible munchies.
Mandible lollipop. Literal munchies.
It was a vicious makeout session that was interrupted by the woman.
A
And
vicious turbo king makeout session.
and he got distracted, so he bit down too hard, and then in his horror had to kill the interrupting.
Oh.
Oh.
Nice.
The Gast
She-
and Banny were into some really fucked up BDSM shit.
Yeah.
There's no crime here at all.
It's a simple accident, Sheriff.
Yeah.
I assure you. Simple sex-related accident.
Meads all around.
But what about the murder that we found in the rune on the flesh? Simple kinking.
Yep.
Like the worst CSI
Don't yuck
show ever.
others' yums.
Yes.
It's like,
CSI Pathfinder Edition.
yeah. Here, there are no crimes.
Only kinks. I suppose that we should report our findings to Sheriff Hemlock, and then
Yeah.
increase our knowledge by interviewing a few people.
While you guys
Maybe
do that,
checking
I'm
out
gonna
the farmhouse?
I'm gonna go fetch Father Xantus. Since there's undead involved, he's gonna need to be here.
I'm gonna go check the wall before we head out. Outside the window, and she kind of dashes down the stairs out to the dock back here to see if I can see any tracks
Okay.
on the wall or the dock or around this area, since it leaves really gross, smelly tracks.
Give me a roll with I think probably a +5 because you've already know exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, perception or survival?
Survival.
So this will be +6 with my bonus for favored enemy.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Rangers, man. They be tracking.
You notice a set of tracks leading from one edge of the deck up toward the wall, and some you can just see in like the Witcher 3 stink trail running up into the wall into the window.
I think he came out of the water, actually. Like,
Belly
do you see
bastard.
here, Vanya?
Yep. I will look as well. Attempt to not as adequately pick up things.
You can't really see what she's talking about, but when she points out the tracks, you can make them out. What are you trying to do? Like, you're just looking at the tracks she's already seen?
I think mostly I'm thinking like, do these tracks lead up from the water?
They do look like they come from the edge of the pier out there.
Okay. So do we think the creature swam? I suppose it doesn't need to breathe, so it could travel underwater unimpeded.
Yeah. It seems like it wasn't like pacing around out here. It just went like straight up the wall.
It had this place ready. This was definitely not a random thing.
No.
This was deliberate.
I want to peer across at the shore to see if I can, or even run across to the shore the long way to see if there are tracks like along there.
You'll take a penalty if you try to do it from the pier, unless your character can run on water. I don't know a way you could do that.
How far away is the shore? Like,
it's not far. It's like 30 feet.
Oh,
20 feet.
Cardi summons the floating disc and says, "Hop on."
Oh,
That's so cool.
Dope.
And Cardi and Blythe ride across.
Okay. Now I know you're not supposed to ask this, but how much do each of you weigh?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
Pounds, I think, right?
1 second. Floating disc.
Carry one person generally.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't.
like 180, but we could carry that whole golden thing.
It can hold 400 pounds.
Oh wow.
McCarty got that dump truck, probably.
Yeah, but 400 pounds when you're talking about human beings kitted out adds up pretty quick. But yeah, you can make it over there.
I mean, I guess Blythe is a muscular woman, and tall. But Cardi is not muscular or tall.
Well, the thing here that will require DM
Dense
fiat.
dwarf.
The thing here that will
Equipment?
No, the thing that will actually require DM fiat is that it says that it maintains a constant interval. No. It floats approximately 3 feet above the ground at all times and remains level. So DM fiat here will be like, does the surface of the water count as ground?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think probably that was the spirit that thing was
Yeah,
intended
no, that's fair.
to be. So, I don't see. I'm trying to think of an abusable way. You guys see a clone of Damon Savagemore run through,
know.
sprinting along the road. Yeah, you guys can fit on it, and you get over to the opposite bank. Give me a survival again, Blythe.
Yeah, so that'll be 20 and then +2 for tracks and +2 for favorite enemy, so 24.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's great,
Um,
isn't it?
Once again,
Yes.
you find a pair of footprints. It looks like there was some sort of like brush and rocks over here that might have made a pretty decent hiding spot. And though the tracks you can make them out on this one little dry patch of ground here, you're not able to tell exactly how you lose them once they go up the hill. But it does indeed appear as though there were some tracks over here where some creature, this ghast, was probably spending a few hours, judging by all the tramping around, spying on this lumber mill before they disappear into the water and reappear on the pier.
Okay, so he didn't come from the water. He was waiting out here for whatever for them. Guys, I found more tracks.
Okay, you want us to come over there?
I don't think I can swim.
I think we're okay. I can't see where he came from. Just that he started out over here and then swam across when it was time.
Maybe
I
he
thought
was
undead
waiting
didn't
for
like
everyone
moving
to
water.
leave.
Is that a thing?
What?
Like they're allergic to water?
I thought undead didn't like moving water. Isn't that a thing?
You hear Sheriff Hemlock yell around the corner. I think that's like a Dresden Files rules there, bud.
I think they're like vampires. It's like vampires don't like running water. Vampires?
Oh, I did see Fantasy Pirates of the Caribbean. They can't walk under that one.
Oh, you mean the documentary Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yes.
The future documentary?
Yeah, the futuristic documentary. Yo, it's good, man.
They have those smoke poles.
None of you, I don't think, are aware of it. There may be some specific type of undead that don't like running water, but as far as you guys are aware, most conventional undead can move through running water.
Okay.
This in Game of Thrones, they can just walk across the bottom, man. The wall wouldn't really work in real life.
Okay, well, this is a little more information. I guess we know a little. What were we doing next, Cardi?
Well, if you're ready to go back, we can travel back. But
Yeah.
okay, we climb on the
I don't
disc and
think-
go back. It lasts for several hours. Like it's just gonna be floating next to me for a while.
You for a little while. Cardi's just reclining on this disc that's floating him around places, like a Segway.
Yeah, I mean, Cardi's like I don't know much about crime scenes. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing
mean-
magical here, and it's like, okay.
You guys covered the Sihedron rune already. Vanya had done a deep dive on that a few weeks ago. That seems to be probably you and her area of expertise on this particular area.
I mean, was there anything that we didn't get from that? I mean, we assumed that the ghast carved it, but other
Yeah.
than
I've told you everything you've gotten.
yeah.
Did I
so-
see any tracks going out of the building, or did it take the same path out? Because I didn't. You didn't mention any.
Fair enough. Actually, they look like they go back and forth. They go like in and
Okay.
out of the building. That route.
So It doesn't look like he wandered like into the rest of the Sandpoint. He just came back out here.
Well,
Be right
maybe
back.
he was waiting for everyone to leave.
Yeah.
Maybe he was after someone specific.
She just kind of shrugs.
These two were known to run the mill late. Them being up late at night, they would make good targets. Lots of noise. The mechanism might suppress any screaming.
Yeah. The other employee, didn't they say he was at the sheriff's?
Did we check their like pockets and stuff?
Sheriff Hemlock did say that that they've got Ivor at the barracks.
Is he alive?
Came back.
Ivor?
Yeah.
The sheriff had related that like they're holding him there.
Okay. I just
like-
couldn't remember because I knew he was involved, but I got confused because I
Yeah.
thought there were just two
I think-
people and there ended up being three people, and I thought Ivor was one of the dead people. But
No.
he's not.
They had said that they've got Ivor at the garrison for questioning. They also
Gotcha.
have the
Okay.
3 corpses
Okay.
in a cold room at the garrison.
Okay.
I can see that as a logical confusion to make. Yeah.
It sounds like it's time to go report back to the sheriff.
I would agree. Let's go.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mm.
Away we go.
Cardi in will just floats out on her disc.
Of course.
Yeah.
I have this thing for several hours. It might as well carry me.
Yeah.
It's really too bad
Sheriff-
that you're not an obese wizard.
Yeah.
Say
Sheriff
what?
Hemlock is standing there conversing with one of his guardsmen and turns to look at you all as you come out, and he gives you a nod and says, so, what did you all put together? I've got my own suspicions, and some of them have been confirmed, but can't say anything for certain. It'd be better to have fresh eyes on this.
Blythe.
It was. I'm confident. It was a ghast. We saw the foot. Or I found the footprints that started on the shore,
Yeah, she
and then it
smelled
swam
them.
through, and it climbed up the wall onto the dock, and then up the wall, and it looked like it was like pacing around up there, and then it did the everything else. But ghasts they can bite their victims and they'll become ghouls. So we need to do something with the bodies.
Burn them.
He says, and he just strokes his chin and just kind of quietly takes the sheriff's pin off of his jacket and just puts it onto you.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah. He says, well, I'm glad that I brought you all in. That was far further than I had gotten. I had determined that I believed that the mangled corpse at the bottom to be Katrine Vinder, but after speaking with her father, turns out that she hadn't returned home last night, and he, of course, flew into a rage about the whole thing when questioned.
Vanya gets like a.
Yes.
Although I guess that's good, so that we don't have to be the ones to tell him, which she will say aloud.
Yes, he took a swing at one of my guardsmen when I sent them to question him about it, and we had to actually toss him into a holding cell for his own good as well as anyone else's.
Oh, convenient. He'll be there. We can ask him some questions as well.
Probably be a good idea.
You should send for Father
although-
Xantus as well.
Yeah, Royman knows what to do with them. I think, or yeah.
Yes, I think that would probably be best. Goodness knows that we'll need to tend to the remains as well as we can, and just can't imagine what old Vin is going to do now. Losing a daughter like that, I suppose it's no surprise that he flew into a rage, and of course Titus Scarnetti will be regretting each day that his profits drain away while the mill is shut down. And I suppose young Mr. Thorne will need to make some arrangements if he does want to come back to work here after all.
I think Vanya and Kirby, you guys wanted to talk to him, right?
Yes. We
That
need
is-
to also, if we could speak with, we need to speak with Shayless.
All right.
Given the attitude of Mr. Vinder, it is not likely that. Well, do you know why Katrine would be here?
I can't say that I do. Perhaps she was strolling last night for some purpose and heard a commotion.
What
I
does she?
understand.
What does she
seemed-
do?
It seemed like he was expecting someone.
Well, he strokes his chin. He says, I have to admit, I'm more familiar with Vin than I am with his daughters. I know that there are some indiscreet rumors about Shayless, but I hadn't heard anything about Katrine.
Then I suggest that we speak with her first. She'll be hopefully more forthcoming. And less likely to punch one of us.
Very well.
I'd prefer not to get punched in the face. We
Yes.
had a
Well,
friend,
we can-
another
we can-
dwarf actually.
We
Yeah,
could just
he
have
didn't
Damon
try to
stand like really close behind one of us and look all intimidating.
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, I suppose.
We'll need
I'll
to
even
speak
flare
with
my nostrils.
we'll need to speak with Ivor, and then we'll also want to examine the bodies that you recovered from the farmhouse.
Well, I've spoken to Ivor a bit. He related. He's the one who discovered this mess, of course. And if you'd like to speak with him, I'd like to let him go soon. He's not currently being detained as a suspect.
We have to go there anyway, so we may as well.
Vin is also in one of the cells there. If you wanted to speak with him, I would also like to turn him loose soon.
Not
Considering-
particularly, but
Well, that's absolutely fine with me.
Maybe if the guy who's good with the etiquette stuff, he could talk to
Jin?
Finn. Yeah,
Wow.
no.
That's
With
right.
the Finn, maybe he wouldn't punch him.
Well, I do recall that that you all had some association with that dwarf who, well, he and Vin got into it. Perhaps that would be wise. Could keep him a bit calmer.
Let's
I
be
can
honest.
speak with
well,
anyone.
He did help us save us from the goblin, save everyone in the goblin invasion, but that doesn't mean we got friends. The guy was a total dickwad.
yes.
Yes,
Rather
I'm
unpleasant.
getting reports left and right that he made all these appointments and arrangements and schedules with people and then failed to attend.
Oh
times.
man.
I mean, we haven't heard from him in like a really, really long
Shade.
time.
Shade.
Yes, kind of
I was
left us
talking
hanging.
about the way that he played that character, but way to go, guys.
It's okay. We're weaving it all together.
Yeah, it all comes together.
It's all canon now.
All right. Well, I suppose. Well, I would be surprised if Shayless and her mother didn't turn up at the garrison. Now, I assume that a few townsfolk saw us dragging Vin in, for questioning or for holding to cool his heels off. It could be that they're all there at the garrison.
Well, that seems
Where
like
was
our
he
next
found again?
target.
Sorry, what?
Where was he found again?
Vin?
Well, yeah.
He was at his home and the general store where he works.
Okay.
Yes.
What about the third guy who was like the survivor of this?
Also at the garrison.
Yes, but where was
Ivor-
he found?
He had found these remains and then gone to the garrison to alert them.
Uh-huh.
As
Like
far
this morning, I'm guessing.
this morning, yes. So what happened, as far as Sheriff Hemlock has told you all, is that Ybor came in this morning, told them that there was a murder at the lumber mill. They went, secured the area after doing a search through. Sheriff Hemlock had Ybor and I had Ybor taken in for questioning to be held at the garrison so they could question him, and then went to see Van Vinder, probably based on his suspicions about the identity of his daughter, Katrine. There, he found out that indeed Katrine didn't come home and was missing. Van Vinder went into a rage, and he had to lock him up to cool off. All right. You guys are not upstairs. We're out in front of the garrison. I assume that's where you're going, straight off.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. You guys arrive, and as you approach with Sheriff Hemlock, you see two guards quarreling with Shayless Vinder and Madam Vinder, who seem to be arguing to some degree. And as one of the guards sees the sheriff approaching, he says, Sheriff, thank God you're here. Please, we've tried to explain that we can't let anyone in to speak to the detained at the moment. And Sheriff Hemlock walks up and just kind of rests a gentle hand on Madam Vinder's shoulder, and she says, Sheriff, it couldn't have been my husband. Whatever it is you suspect him of, he could never do anything like this. He was with me at home all night. And Sheriff Hemlock pats her and he says, that's what I believe as well, madam, but had to keep him here to cool off, otherwise I'm afraid he would have done something that he regrets. And as you all kind of gather in behind him, he says, I've brought the so-called heroes of Sandpoint in to assist me. They are my deputies for this investigation. I'd like for them to be able to question whomever they would like before I release Vin to you. And as long as he's cooled off his heels, I don't see any problem with letting him go. And he turns to look at you all, and he says, who is it you all would like to question? And I'm going to take a brief break to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I question the barbarians. Where were you two last night?
I was a bouncer at the little Miss Kitty place.
Little Miss Kitty. Oh no. It's like, it's like a Hello Kitty icon with like medieval garb.
Greetings, feline.
I think that's where I work. I think that's the name of my workplace.
I mean, do they pay you though?
Yeah.
Okay, well then, yeah, okay, good. Just making sure you understood the concept of a job.
I imagine that's how like a half-orc actually just like makes it through the world, is jumping from job to job to job, doing like random odds and ends that require like being big and strong.
But this one's particularly thick, so I wanted to make sure that he's not being taken advantage of.
THICC.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'll give you a
Got
job.
that big green dump truck ass.
Juicy.
Oh my
Got that
God.
wobble.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
Ryman's like, well, this one's particularly thick, and he's like, thank you.
Matt turns around and smacks the
Fair.
ass.
Yeah. Okay. Sheriff Hemlock turns to you all and says, I believe you wanted to do your own questioning. The garrison is, you're free to roam about the garrison as you like.
Vin is the father of the girl who was put in the wood chipper. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, perhaps I should talk to Master Vin.
Yeah. And since they've been saying his innocence so much, I'm fairly convinced it was him.
It also might
did I say
serve
that out loud?
you're
Whoops.
not associated with us.
I think he's a ghast.
So I want to ask him.
He is inside.
Oh, who's
in
this
a-
fellow
in
with
a
the
cell.
blue eyeball?
That is Madam Binder, his wife.
I
Uh,
apologize, madam.
How impolite.
she turns to you.
You're a very handsome woman.
She turns to you, and you see just a single perfect tear slide down her cheek.
Moving on.
It is known as a diadem, or
I think the art for that character is just
oh
so
yeah,
bad.
it's not good.
It's also it looks stretched even like.
Yeah, I mean,
I
just
apologize,
like
madam. Your
crap.
character art is horrific.
That's what my father always said.
He was a wise and goodly man. Now, this is the fellow over here.
This guy here, yeah,
Yes.
who's just at this moment he's just leaning back and got his with his eyes raised to the ceiling, and he's resting his head against the wall. And as you approach, he looks up and he says, "What is it you want?"
Master Vin, I cannot imagine what you're going through on this day of all days.
Oh yeah, you ever get told that your daughter's missing at the same time half the town's talking about a bunch of murders happening?
I said I cannot imagine what you're going through. So no.
Yeah, that's right.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think your daughter was doing at the sawmill? And I'm going to do a diplomacy check.
Okay. Ooh,
Yep.
good.
Nice.
He looks up and he looks you up and down and he says,
I wanted
That-
to feel like I'm on his side.
"You're that etiquette person, Manjiku Kaijutsu. He's the one he employed, ain't you?"
Yes, my late master.
And he looks you up and down again, just kind of gives you a nod, and he says, "I don't know how it is for you and Tanja or wherever it is you all came from, but here, a man's reputation and a woman's reputation is all she's got, and my daughter, Shayless, some people like to whisper and rumor, but Katrin was never that type of girl, you know? But
I understand. Honor is everything.
I know what ladies can be like at that age, and I know she was going with that Benny Archer fella, and maybe she was just better at keeping it out of my eyesight. But she ain't come home last night, and normally she always is there in the morning. It's been pretty rare that she'd ever be out like that, so you can probably guess what she was up to.
So Ryan,
This
this guy doesn't know that his daughter's been put through a wood chipper.
He knows that she's supposed to be a victim of a murder. She's implicated. He doesn't know the details. You can
Gory
probably
details.
Yeah.
I mean, he just seems to be implying that she's missing, not dead.
He seems to have put two and two together that she's missing and there were murders last night.
Okay.
And
Nobody's come out and told him yet. Basically.
nobody's maybe come out and told him that like the method, but he can pretty much put two and two together that like he was asked by Sheriff Hemlock about that, and there's the rumors going on about some grisly murders down at the mill, but that's about it. And I think he knew that Katrin was like going out with Danny Harker, who worked there, so he's sort of put two and two together here.
I knew it.
It's the mayor.
It was the
Must have
father the
been
whole time.
With a candlestick. Yeah.
Can you think of anyone who would have wanted to harm your daughter, or what the fuck is that other guy's name?
Benny Harker.
Yeah, that guy.
Uh,
Or a man
Whatever
with a
that
raven
other prick
tattoo on his
was.
stomach.
Shit. Where are your dice when you need them? You know.
And the
Never
computer.
Yep.
It's in roll 20, you fuck.
Using that inspiration to throw shade at the GM.
You know, if you got to do it, that's a good thing.
Tanner's
to do.
been kind of aggressive tonight.
Maybe. Okay.
Do you like
so
it?
Then Vinder lifts his head up and looks at you, and he says, "My Katrin, she was no trouble at all. Always mindful of her mother and her father. But yeah, I guess I can think of a thing or two. You know that the Scarnettis, well, they've got a couple operations of one kind or another, and funny thing is, lots of their competitors seem to go out of business under strange circumstances. You get what I'm saying?"
Indeed. Are you suggesting that one of their competitors might have struck back?
Well, I can't think of anybody else who'd be after them like that. And there are rumors, about the Scarnettis being involved with the Jarny crime family.
Oh no.
Just rumors, but that's what they say. Could be that Benny Harker, the Scarnettis, one of them got caught up in something, and my Katrine got caught in the middle of it.
Could well be. Thank you, sir.
Sorry, that voice is harsh.
He sounds like
Don't
he's
hurt
been.
yourself now.
Sorry, I got a little ghoul fever.
I want to counsel him about his smoking.
Yeah.
I'm coming down with the consumption.
Yeah.
I want to relay all that to Blythe and Raymond here.
Okay.
Can I just do I have to say it? Or?
You can say it, or you just say I do it, and
I do it. I relay all that information.
yeah.
We're standing here. I think you know this.
I think that's one of the things that the DM doesn't have to, specifically allow you to do. I think you're allowed to relay information.
I do that.
And Vinder sits there. Roymond and Blythe just stand there T-posed. Just kind of hanging out.
Was the Thorn here too? Didn't someone want to talk
This
to him?
guardsman up here says, he kind of walks over and whispers, considering Van Vinder's state and that Ivor Master Thorn has gone through quite a bit. We kept him upstairs in the bunking quarters. We thought perhaps they ought to be separated.
That's
Oh,
very prudent
okay.
of you.
Yes,
We
and
see him now.
after all, Master Thorn is not currently detained so much as a suspect as much as he is here for questioning. And he nods over to the stairs and he says, if you'd like to head up the stairs, I'm sure you'd be able to speak with him. Sheriff Hemlock has already told us everything about deputizing you. And yeah, he indicates these stairs over here.
Blythe kind of nods and then waits for one of her companions who do the talking to go first.
Upstairs.
Not it.
Yeah, I feel like me and Vanya are probably sitting out here talking to Shayla.
Yeah, I think we would try to speak with Shayless, not in the presence of her mother, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So whenever you want to come around to us.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can just do that now.
Okay.
As
Just
Sheriff
gonna rest in
Hemlock
this bed over here.
says,
Oh God!
yeah.
My cat
The
just kicked
cat-
me in the testicle.
I was gonna say that sounded like a testicle. Yeah.
All right.
Zuzu knows that sound.
Well, I do because I accidentally. Well, it wasn't the cat. I mean, there is no cat here, but
She
like.
was the cat.
Zoo
Well,
is
this
the cat.
morning. Yeah, this morning I accidentally you know how you go pat somebody, but you don't.
Pat somebody on the testicles? No, I don't actually do that.
Right on the test.
I think she was shooting for my thigh, but she missed badly.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
was
the
like,
worst,
oh,
though.
shit.
When you just
Oh, yeah.
tip it.
Yeah.
That, that high
Yep.
velocity tip.
Bro, the grazing blows are
Yeah.
for some reason, it's really
That's
bad.
the worst.
Yeah.
Like you could punch me right in the dick.
It was
Or
funny
punch
too
me right in the
because
balls.
it was funny too because she was like, "Oh, it wasn't that hard, was it?" And I was like, "No, it wasn't." That's the awful
Any
part.
amount is very hard.
Yeah, like the grazing ones. Like you could punch me right in the balls and yeah, that would hurt. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
bad. But you flick my testicle,
Yeah.
and you might as well. You'll drop me.
It's
Yep.
debilitating.
Yeah, so that's why I recognize
I
that.
forgot where we were going. Okay, yeah,
You
upstairs to
guys
talk
were
to
going
Kiddo.
upstairs to talk to Ivor Thorn, and Cardi and Vanya are downstairs, and
right.
Sheriff Hemlock says, Madam Vinder, if you wouldn't mind, if you would like to step inside, I know you. I should take something down for the record. And he just kind of nods to the two of you as he moves inside, and he actually heads up to his office, and Madam Vinder follows him. As he
Just
takes
out of curiosity. Sorry, go ahead.
Actually, I'm gonna have him do it here. That's probably his work desk, right? That's not his he's not gonna have her in there. And she's taking her statement. Yep.
Is Madam Vinder like a medium, or is that the diet is she known for anything other than being part of the Vinder clan? Because I don't know, for some reason I'm getting oracle or spooky.
That's probably because I'm using the word madam.
Yeah.
But no,
look at the amount of eyeshadow she has.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just have a
eyeshadow and the diadem.
No,
Which
I
is
don't think so.
She's
like
Madame
the crystal
Trelawney.
ball
That's
vibes.
not official character art. It's just some that another
Okay.
DM had put together.
That's fair.
Because a lot of these guys didn't have character art.
Of
They just
course.
had random tokens.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I just wanted to clear that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we are in this room, and I go, Shaylis, if you don't mind, I have a couple of questions about your sister. If do you know if she had anything to do with them boys in the middle?
With what?
Them boys in the middle.
Shaylis turns to look at you both, and she just goes, "Well, between you and me, yes, she was getting on with Benny Harker very well. He was doing very well for himself, and I believe that at some point they plan to move on together, propose marriage, and start a family. I mean, he was doing so well at the mill. He would always drop her flowers and gifts, and to be frank, she was very taken with him. I know that. I knew that my father and would not have approved with her consorting with anyone, as perhaps you all have heard. He has quite a temper, but
Yes.
but
We have heard that.
Heard, seen
yeah,
several
Experienced.
times.
yes,
Out of character, we didn't experience that scene.
Heard the
with-
reports of.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
yeah. You guys didn't actually witness any of it. You just
Oh, Vanya's been barking up Shaylis's tree for years. Doesn't she just look the type? Them redheads.
oh.
Just no, I'm fucking kidding. But
I don't know. You're a character, man. Do whatever you want. I just didn't know that, if that's something that you do. She's a very open-minded young lady.
I mean, not unless she's into Olympics or something.
She doesn't know what that is, but it sounds interesting.
Vanya has a thing for glass, as we found out.
Yeah, there's
it's-
that, and also I think Vanya is probably the type of partner that believes in like romantic drug use.
Or just drug use.
Yeah.
In general.
Her eyes are probably still dilated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like still
Yeah.
super big.
So, very well. If she was getting along very well with Penny, do you know if she was heading out to the mill specifically last night for anything?
She kind of looks and checks to make sure her mom and dad aren't nearby, and she says, she would go there many nights to share a drink and well, some quality time, let's say, with Banny.
What sort of quality time?
She just gives you a kind of a bald look and just goes,
Oh, that.
yes, the sort of quality time that I shared, that I like to share with them. Various different people. I know that you associated briefly with one of my conquests.
A conquester.
Name them alphabetically.
Shaylis, you don't need to do
All of
that.
them.
Vanya is just curious. But if she was heading out, did you know about what time she left to go to the mill, and perhaps what time she might have arrived?
Well, I don't know. I was actually at the Rusty Dragon last night. I don't know exactly when, but she would always wait for Father to go to bed, and he usually would go to sleep around, I don't know, 10 or 11, perhaps. So I would assume it would have been around midnight, something like
Quite
that.
late.
Quite
Yes.
late.
There would have been
Perhaps.
few people to see her on the street, and even
Hmm.
fewer to see anything that happened at the mill.
Well, even when she did go, she didn't exactly. She wouldn't have minded keeping a hood over her face to make sure that no gossip got around.
Yes.
You know-
Well, I'm sure that you may have deduced what might have happened to her, but we're sad to say that she is gone.
I just thought as much. And you see that she seems to be putting on like a brave face and sort of kind of trying to joke through the pain, and she says, when they brought Father in and she didn't return last night,
Cardi reaches up and puts a hand on her shoulder and says, there. It's all right. But it's not.
her face starts to crumble as you pat her shoulder, and she just kind of clutches your arm reflexively, and pretty soon you find she's practically leaning on you for support, as she says, "I'm sorry, I need to sit. Would you mind if I?" And this guard kind of moves out of the way, and she kind of collapses on the bench and drops her face into her hands, and she says, Katrine, she was the good one. She never got into any kind of trouble. I didn't expect anything like this. She was one of the best people I ever knew. And she just seems to be weeping.
Well, if it's any comfort, I don't think that she was targeted in any way. I don't think that the person who did this was after her, but they may have been after Benny. Do you know of anyone that wished him ill will?
She sniffles.
And have you ever seen Fargo by any chance?
she sniffles and wipes her nose and kind of rubs her wrist into her eyes, and she says, I can't think of anyone that would have had any ill will toward my sister. I mean, sure, I was a little jealous that she had gotten to Banny before I had a chance to stake my claim on him, but nobody would have had any problem with her. And then she kind of thinks thoughtfully and goes, well,
Dun, dun, that?
She says, I can't think of anything. Perhaps they were robbed or something? That's the only thing I can possibly think of. Banny did flaunt his money a bit.
The circumstances at the mill doesn't seem to be like a robbery. They seem to be somewhat more targeted at Benny.
The only things that Benny, I'm sure he annoyed the neighbors by staying up working late and running the mill at all hours, and well, I don't suppose anybody else would have any sort of problem with him that I'm aware of.
Very well.
Did he have any fancy dental work?
Yes, all of his bottom teeth were gold. Solid gold.
Just a
Interesting.
solid platinum nugget in each tooth crevice.
He had a grill, a diamond-studded grill.
It said Thassalon ain't shit.
Yes. It said Sandpoint ain't nothing to fuck with.
He had so many teeth.
S-Town
He had a lot
down.
of- he had a lot of them. You know about the tattoo on his belly, right?
Yeah, he called himself a street shark, and he had multiple rows of grills.
It said straight out of Sandpoint.
Crazy motherfucker named Benny.
Yes. He liked some sort of rhyming
Tried to
couplet
find some life,
music.
there wasn't any.
Well, I appreciate you trying to think of something. I'm sorry if it caused you any grief.
Thank you for telling me. And she just reaches out to you, Cardi, and grabs your hand, and she says, "You're looking for them, the murderers?"
We think it's just a murderer, but we're looking for who we think might have done it. Tracking down whatever leads we can find.
Whoever it was, promise me you'll find them. Promise me you'll avenge my sister, please.
Well, I can't promise that I'll be the one killing them, but I'm sure one of my new friends might be doing it for me.
She seems to accept that and just nods and gives you a grateful but tear-stained smile, and briefly, and then just kind of leans back and seems to resume weeping.
I reach into my cloak and pull out my flask, and I sit down on the bench next to her and extend it to her, and then say, "Here, take a look at this. I'm sure it'll help calm the nerves, and if you'd like to, you could pet Brock." And Brock comes out of my robes, and
she takes the flask and just downs the whole thing. She's just like doesn't stop. And you'll recall that she does seem to enjoy spending some time in the Rusty Dragon. And she just hands it back to you and goes, "Thank you. I'm going to need a lot more than that to get through this, I'm sure."
I pull out a second flask. I'm a dwarf after all.
Perfect.
The
Now that's
legendary
racist.
backup flask.
Yeah.
I
Oh
open a
my
secret
God.
compartment in my flask and reveal a slightly smaller flask.
No, when you see the secret compartment, it actually has a piece of glass covering it that says "break in case of emergency."
Emergency grain alcohol.
Oh, is there not an endless flask in Pathfinder? I'm so sad.
I'm sure there is. There's gotta be.
Yeah, there's something called like a bottomless bottle. I'm sure that
Yeah.
we could
I'm sure there's one.
make something happen.
She just kind of like looks at you surprised and then says, "Well, I do like a person who's well prepared." And she takes and sips from the other flask, but she hasn't completely finished this one, and gives, and as you hand her your is it a hedgehog or what is it?
Hedgehog, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a badger.
Hedgehog
Oh,
cute.
you're right. It is a badger. Hedgehog is what's his name from?
Yeah.
Oh my God, a key
Reign of Winter.
Keith.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's on paper it's a badger, but I'd said you can pick any roughly.
On paper, it's
Or
not.
on paper it's an armadillo. Anyway, she takes it from you and smiles and just kind of gently pets this badger, who I suppose enjoys being pet, and she says, "That's very sweet of you. You're Cardi, right?
Aye, that is my name.
The whole town is abuzz, or has been ever since you all defeated Nualia in that goblin raid from a month ago or so. I didn't realize you were so compassionate. I appreciate that."
Somebody's got to be compassionate enough for this one right here. And I point at Vanya and sort of like give Vanya like a punch on the arm, like a place.
Vanya, who's collecting her
Vanya's
tears
like,
in a
what?
vial, like,
Yeah.
just like coldly calculating. And
I'm seeing how. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. Vanya's like, what? She's just been like hastily scribbling notes about this with a completely like professional and detached demeanor.
Yeah, of course. If you guys are good with it, we'll go to Roymond and Blythe and Eugene, who is sleeping in a bed, I guess. Just hopped right up into a bed.
It's like, all this keeping track of etiquette has made me sleepy.
He's had a long morning, so he's taking a rest.
We did skip tea time.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
He spent all of his etiquette points, and now he's sleeping in somebody else's bed.
I like to imagine that Eugene reviews like meal times in the same way that hobbits do. It's like first breakfast, second breakfast, tea time, lunch, second lunch.
Yeah. 11sies.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know what the next one is. Yeah, 11sies. As you guys arrive to the second floor and look up, you see Ivor Thorn, who is just dejectedly resting on like a footlocker, and there's a guard who's like kind of politely minding him, but doesn't appear to be. He looks like he's kind of there to make sure that Ivor doesn't like flee, but trying to be polite about it because, you know, probably this guy's had like a really rough day.
He does appear covered in blood.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is he covered in blood and like,
He's
what's
got-
his appearance?
Yeah, he looks pretty disheveled, and there's definitely some blood stains on him. You can possibly deduce that having found the remains of his friend, he may have touched the body or tried to remove it from the wall or something before running for help. It doesn't look like he's like been in battle or anything.
It doesn't look like he ripped a person's jaw.
Does
found
he
him
look
dead.
like he could have been aghast, like, I don't know, 6 hours ago?
In a similar vein, does he look like a bitch?
You know, he kind of looks like a bitch.
I don't think we should take any chances. Let's burn this motherfucker down.
Black
He
one.
looks vaguely bitchish, but other than that, he just looks really sad and very human. And
Unfortunate.
he looks up at you all as you approach, and he says, "No more questions, please."
Well,
I'm gonna do a little good cop, bad cop.
unfortunately,
Bad cop, demon cop.
time
Bad
isn't-
cop, worst cop. Sorry.
Unfortunately, time is a bit short. We don't want whoever did this to get away, so we'll have to ask you a few questions. I'm sorry.
I've already told them everything that I know.
It's not great.
That was not particularly good.
Intimidate.
Tell us what you saw.
Oh, great.
Where are
Did
the
you-
other
did you
drugs
mean-
going?
Or was that a misclick?
I slap him. Pull it together, man.
Roll intimidate, I guess.
I did.
Oh, you did it. Okay. All right. You step up And Royman attempts to secure his friendship. And he says, "I've already told the other guardsmen everything that I." And he gets slapped across the face. He goes,
There's no time, you fool.
What?
Tell me what you saw.
"What? Okay. I'll tell you everything. I've already told them everything that I know. Jesus God." What is it that you want to know?
Pull over.
Okay. Are you actually doing this?
No.
Okay, you're not actually
License
intimidating
and
him.
registration.
It's a
No,
fair.
I am actually intimidating him.
Okay, you're actually intimidating him, but you're
Because
not
that's
actually.
from Super Troopers, and he's never heard
Where
of
are they?
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Where are who? Pull what over?
Tell
Okay.
us exactly what you saw this morning. Exactly as you saw it.
Where's Harvey Dent?
I went in to work like normal, and I noticed that the mill was already running, which I thought was strange because normally I'm the one who opens everything up in the morning. And when I got inside, I found Katrine. Her body, it looked like she'd been shoved into the wood chipper. And
How did
I
you
went
know
up-
it was Katrine?
because she is the one who typically visits Benny late at night.
Let's see.
And it looked a lot like her, or from what was left.
I'm used to seeing her in 100 pieces.
Sorry, he broke up a little bit there.
I said I'm used to seeing her in 100 pieces.
Yeah. It's as far as I know, she was the only one that would visit Benny at night. I just assumed it was probably her, wasn't it?
It was. Lucky you got that one right. What did you do next?
Oh God! I went upstairs and I saw Benny. He was like nailed to the wall, and I tried to pull the hooks out and take him down, but I wasn't able to. As you can see, I look kind of like a bitch, and I wasn't strong enough. And I tried to yank him down off the wall, but I couldn't do it, so I ran to Sheriff Hemlock to get help. And ever since then, he told me to wait here and to examine the scene, and then you came in, and that halfling was very polite to me, and then you slapped me in the face.
I don't mean to be impolite, but we don't have time, damn it.
All right.
Yeah, but I don't know if you needed to hit the guy.
Please. He like cowers next to the bed with his like hands raised. And you see the guard over there, and you give me a perception check.
Perception.
Any of you that are there. Oh yeah, Blythe, you can hear him whispering under his breath, and you hear him saying,
"Oh, this must be some sort of Tianjia etiquette. I'd better take notes."
he's just like taking notes while this is going on.
I was mid-typing this when you had us roll.
Yeah. The guard luckily seems to have assumed that this is some sort of higher form of etiquette that he's not aware of.
Wow.
Ybor is like cowering against the bed frame, and he's got his hands slightly raised. He goes, "Please don't strike me again. That's all I know, I swear."
I will not strike you as long as you tell us what we need to know. Who would have wanted to harm a coworker?
I swear I can't think of anyone that would have wanted to harm them.
Have you seen anything maybe out of the usual in the last week or so?
No, nothing unusual. Everything was normal. This was Benny and I just conducted business as usual the entire time.
No new visitors or anything?
No, nothing of note. Can you take over the questioning? I like it better when you do. This one strikes me with his hand.
Well, I mean, this fellow is giving
With
us
the
no
back
details.
of his hand. I think, as well. Was that the palm or the back? Because I've been bitch slapped before, and I don't appreciate it.
Oh, it was the
Slap
back,
you
and
get
you
is
know
a
it.
bitch slap.
Roman, this fellow's giving us no details. Do you want me to try and jog his memory again?
I don't know. The barbarian's like standing downstairs, like on the stairs, like whispering through the floorboards.
Yeah.
They
I was
have like
picturing
a
him-
psychic connection, a psychic barbarian connection. One of them's being an asshole, the other one gets it. Grab him by his ankles and dangle him off the balcony. Shake some sense into him.
Oh, man. You had rolled diplomacy 26. Oh, wait, was that for...
That was before. That was when I
Okay.
was talking to Vin.
Okay, gotcha, okay. That was good.
That was before
Good.
we adopted a different strategy.
All
I just
right.
thought this would be fun.
Yeah, it is. He raises hands, and as Eugene is like moving through him, and I actually just saw intimidate. I think intimidate. They have to act friendly to you, so I'm not even sure.
They act friendly, or they just comply?
I think they. Well, it says acting friendly.
Did he immediately develop Stockholm syndrome?
Well, he doesn't feel friendly toward you. But he'll act basically as if you're a friend. Like he'll do the things for you that he would do for a friend. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
does that make sense?
Very good.
But
Very
for
good.
a whole
Listen,
different reason.
Yeah.
Listen, Toby, or whatever your name is.
Ipor.
Yes, exactly that's what I said.
Yes.
Do you think that Master Scarnetti is aware of what's going on with his workers? Running the mill late at night, having women over.
He gulps, sort of, and seems to be looking back and forth between you and Royman and Blythe, and he says, "Well, I as far as the having Katrin visit, you mean?"
Yes, that is what I said.
Yes, I don't think he does, but Master Scarnetti can be a bit of a harsh boss at times, but he otherwise treats us very well, and I have no complaints at all about him or any of his practices or associations. Royman, do you think he's being truthful?
Balls.
You have a -2 on your sense motive?
Hell yeah, fam.
Wisdom skill.
Yeah.
What's sense
Roman-
motive? How do I do that? Let's see.
I'm not sure how good you are at it.
Well, I rolled a 2.
Oh,
good.
Christ
I'm
almighty.
super
Yeah.
that makes sense to me.
7, but
Yeah, that seems to track.
Yeah,
Scarnetti sounds like a great boss.
Yep. You think that Ibor not only is telling the truth, but is being a little coy about it. Probably like Master Scarnetti's great. Like he loves him. Like really good. Yeah. That's how he's responded.
Roman, have you any further questions for this fellow with an odd attachment to his boss?
I mean, I think he has a name.
Yeah, Toby, right? No? Something?
If you say so, I'll be Toby. Just don't strike me again, God. My best friend was murdered today.
No, Eugene's fine. God is completely unnecessary. That's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
That was a good joke. That was really funny.
Oh, thank you. You're growing on me.
You're
Like
not,
a fungus.
please. Is there anything else?
No, I don't think so. Anyone? Lunch, anyone? Is it 11? No? Nothing?
Yeah, it's
I
probably
could
getting
eat.
on. It's probably getting on toward lunchtime.
I could use... I'm famished.
have after the taste of the footprints, I'm kind of not hungry.
Would think you'd want to wash that down.
I'm just really puzzled by this guy being here because he hasn't offered us anything even worthy of note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
sometimes,
We-
Sometimes just a little bitch. Sometimes that's all there is.
Maybe
God damn
he's
it! I
been
did mean to
charmed?
ask him if he heard the on order sound, like right as he found the bodies.
Like that one?
No, the dum dum.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. They always do. Sirdak Drakus always does that when he has mysteries in the theater. Yeah. You guys have gotten everything you've successfully gotten so far.
We could ask, since he knows his boss, you could ask more about his boss's relation to that mob family that Vin mentioned. I think his name's Vin. It's Vin Binder, right?
Vinvinder, yeah.
The Ger.
It's SCZ Arnie. So I'm saying it like Zarni.
Yeah. Zarni.
Kazarni.
I don't know.
That seems too much. Or Jarny, maybe like a Czech type of sound, like Jarny. I have no way of knowing how they want me to do that.
Well, listen, Toby. I'm quite hungry, so I'll keep this short. I have only a few more questions.
Yes, sir.
I have heard rumors that Master Scarnetti sometimes farms out some of his less desirable work to the Scarnetti family. Do you know anything about that, or has the lumber mill been involved?
No, I don't know anything about that, anything like that at all, and I would not trust any rumors of any kind along those lines.
No, certainly, neither would I. But let's be honest.
I'm being honest. I'm being true blue. I wouldn't lie to you, sir. I swear. Roll sense motive, I think.
That's right.
Eugene. Unfortunately, none of you guys are any good at it.
There's no charisma characters upstairs at the moment.
It's wisdom.
There's no charisma
What
characters
is-
down
I mean,
there either. Let's be
Yeah, I was
honest.
gonna say.
Right.
There's only charisma. There's only charisma characters upstairs right now.
But sense motive is wisdom, I thought.
Hey,
right.
that's better.
That is better.
Okay. Eugen, with your intimidating, like the bonus you get from intimidating this poor young man, you can tell he's holding something back. There's something he's not divulging.
Listen, Ivor. You can tell your old friend Eugene anything you would tell any other old friend who you didn't want to get struck by.
He gulps and he says, "Okay, if you promise not to hurt me, I'll tell you the rest that I know. But I wasn't involved with any of this. I swear."
I think that's a deal we could make. You tell me the truth, and I don't hurt you.
Okay. Benny was cooking the books for a while. I never took part in any sort of scams or trickery or anything, but I think Benny was stashing away some of the money from the mill. I think he was skimming something. There were more than a few times that I'd noticed, and
well, he is an enterprising young man. Now, have you any idea if anyone else might be aware of that?
Probably whoever killed him. Maybe. And he hushes up a little bit and he speaks really quietly and he goes, "This Mr. Scarnetti has a bit of a reputation. They've had a few competing
mills in the region, and, well, none of them seem to last long, and some people do whisper that he's got associations, if you know what I mean.
What happens to these other mills? Do the employees end up murdered by chance?
Well, I know that one had burned down, and I think another one was sold to the Scarnettis at a very good bargain for strange reasons. I don't know exactly what's happening. I'm like I said, I'm not involved in this. I'm a simple lumber mill worker, and I just heard some rumors here and there. And I warned Benny that if he kept up doing something like this, well, one day it was going to catch up to him, and I guess it finally did.
And he kind of deflates with kind of sadness, and he goes, "That's all that I know and suspect. I swear. Just please don't tell Mr. Scarnetti that I mentioned any of this information. If he found out that I was suggesting anything like this, who knows? I would end up being discovered next."
Well, maybe it would be a good idea for you to get a different job anyway. I doubt you could go back to the mill now. And
No, I
keep
don't
a
really.
peaceful head.
I don't think that that's a place for me to work anymore. I'll have to find some other place around here that I could find gainful employment.
And I think we're
Yep.
ready to put a pin in it after
I think
this
so.
one.
Yeah.
But he seems to have deflated as if he has divulged everything that he can think
Yeah,
of.
like he has a weight off his shoulders.
Yeah, he seems less tight and afraid. He seems to have relaxed marginally now that you have gotten this out of him.
Well, we just beat all the tension out of him.
Yeah.
No big deal. It's funny because I was imagining Royman like getting ready to step in, and then he fucking started divulging things, and Royman's like, "Huh, that's
Yeah.
weird."
Yes, it works.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's information you have to know. You have to discover that he's holding information back. And you guys rolled dog shit to do that.
Yep.
Except in the end, I thought Intimidate would give you a slight bonus on. I thought it would
I think that's
unhinge
fair.
him enough that maybe he would make like a
Yeah.
mistake.
Have like a tell, basically.
Yeah, he would reveal some sort of tell.
I do appreciate that. I really just wanted to play with it. I didn't want to beat the guy to a pulp, but I kind of felt like I had to.
I mean, I think if there's one where you're gonna start slapping people around, like this is probably the circumstance you would do that. At least one innocent person was murdered, and you're trying to get to the bottom of the situation.
It was fun. Eugen has a taste for it now.
Uh-oh.
Also, just like
Well-
as a side note, the way that nuns teach etiquette in Catholic school is by
True,
beating the
dude.
shit out of people. So
That's true.
Yeah.
it doesn't
They're
seem
the
out
rod,
of character
spoil the
to be
child.
like, okay, well, I'm gonna learn you a lesson.
Yeah. That is perfect.
Oh man.
Only
Okay.
way you learn to be nice. is by
So
learning how to-
before we all bow out, what's the plan for next Wednesday? Are we doing this game again or my game?
I'm guessing Matt had to leave. Oh, you're here again.
He's here. I'm fine with either one. If we can all do, well, it depends.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm sorry, you guys weren't hearing me talk throughout that.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
It was mostly jokes, but
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm down with either one. I think I need to do. I think next week. Would next week be Runelords normally?
Normally, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm fine with doing Runelords again next week.
well, normally it would have been Runelords this Wednesday, but
Oh.
we swapped it for my game. And
Oh,
then,
Okay.
yes. I forgot.
All right. Well, let's do Crown then, I guess. Next week, and then
I can
weeks.
check with like I guess the people that matter really is like the restrictive schedules are going to be Matt and Travis in terms of the 2 games. So
I mean, I'm fine with running this once a week, but it's really up to you guys. Like when I invited Matt to play, like I said, we play every other week, so I don't want to interfere with.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to keep up a once a week schedule.
Okay.
I will say though that the week after next week, I start paternity leave, so I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be a good thing or a bad thing as far as D&D goes. But it on my schedule it reads vacation. So
Yeah. Well, rolling up a character. I mean, roll the lat up a character. It's never too early to start.
That's true. I could develop a companion of some kind.
Yeah, a familiar, basically.
A familiar. Oh man.
How familiar are you with a brand new child? Like, can they be qualified? You're still learning them.
He'd probably eat the dice.
It would be like Smitty's Poopsie in Carrying Crown.
Yeah.
Just carry him in a papoose. It's perfect.
Hopefully, won't
It's it.
end like a poopsie.
The doggo formerly known as Poopsie.
Yep. Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, let's do Crown next
I think
week
Carrying Crown
and
makes sense,
Runelords after. Yeah, I'm good with that. Yeah. Thanks for playing, guys. I was
Thank you.
interested to run this one because this was well, one of the reasons I was interested in this whole campaign was because I tried to do a murder mystery in my first game and I fucked it up a lot, and this one lays it out in ways that I feel like are a little bit more interesting and like smoother.
Yeah.
And you guys did really well.
I do feel
Blythe,
bad for like
MVP,
our
Jesus.
Yeah, I do feel bad for like our fighty types because I know like Zuzu's character is kind of struggling with all the chatting we're doing.
This is why I do like one jokes when I see the
Yeah.
opportunity.
Which is good.
Yeah.
We just need to try to find.
There's a good mix.
Yeah.
You know, there's stuff to do, and I think you guys all did well.
You want to slap a guy next time?
Sure.
Like,
do-
bring her in with the...
There's stuff she can do besides fight. Like
We could do assisted intimidation. That'd be fun.
yeah, she could intimidate as well. Like there's other stuff she can do.
It'd be a perfect bad cop, demon cop.
Yeah.
Bad cop, demon cop.
Bad cop, worse cop.
Yeah.
Demon cop. He's got to be demon cop though.
Next time you guys do it, I'm pretty sure you're just gonna walk up and both start slapping the shit out of somebody
Just
and
slap
not
him back
ask
and
a question.
forth like a fucking cartoon. His chin just goes back and forth.
Yeah.
Just like in Airplane. Get a hold of yourself.
Yeah. Do we want to try starting? Because we started at a normal time tonight. I think we want to. We tried to start an hour early, or we wanted to, or did we?
I fucking
that was-
loved that in Carry Crown.
I'm fine with that. Except on Friday, if we were doing Friday things,
This was like a one-time thing. I think I just didn't want to totally go. I didn't want to go a full month without playing. Matt, are you okay with that? Starting an hour earlier than we normally do?
Yeah, that'd be 5
on
o'clock
Wednesday
for me. Well, the coming weeks it'll probably be okay.
Okay.
On paternity leave.
Normally
Once I
we
get back to
usually
work
start
scheduled.
7 o'clock your time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't you? I was like, I'm not sure what the time difference is. Pretty sure it's not 5 hours.
No.
Yeah,
so you're Pacific, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it would be 6 o'clock your time.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay.
The only days it wouldn't. Yeah, there are some work days where I won't get home at 6.
Okay. Well, I'll
fine. Let you know.
I'm fine with having that as like our I like hanging out with you guys earlier. So if we have to wait for somebody who's not right on time that time, like I would say we should try to start rolling in around that time, and if you can make it, then hop in here and we can start earlier. And otherwise we can just sort of get just like chill and talk and get warmed up and shoot the shit. Yeah. And cool. I'm good for that. So let's plan on that. And
Sounds good.
don't